Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel, guys. What's good with you? So here we go. And so Mike, appreciate you for coming through. Mike, what's good with you? How's it going? And so we've got kickoff on the way here. And so the Cardinals here, you see with the black helmets here, will take over here offensively. So we'll get to see Kyler Murray in the offense go here first for the Arizona Cardinals. Well, actually, Kyler Murray won't be going out there. They're going to have McSorley go out there to start things off for the Cardinals. Trace McSorley. Carmichael, what's good with you? What's good with you? How's it going? And so here we go. One back in the backfield here. Three receivers, one tight end. McSorley takes a snap here, play fake, looking, throws it, caught by the receiver, and he's going to pick up a gain of about 6 yards before being pushed out of bounds, which will result in a penalty here. You simply can't do that, and that's going to be a flag there against Baltimore. And so, Braden, what's good with you? What's good with you? He says, hey, JB, what's good with you? And so we've got Lewis here. So, Lewis, tell me, are you taking the over or the under in this one? Let me know. And so Mike says, yo, Braden, Lewis, and Carmichael. Carmichael says it's going good. How about you? Yeah, things are going great. Things are going great. I'm really excited about this matchup here to see the Cardinals and the Ravens. Can the Ravens keep their win streak in the preseason alive and continue? Right now it's at 21, and they're going to try to make it 22 today. So let's see if they can keep that streak going. All right, but here goes the Cardinals here. Quarterback up under center, one back in the backfield, two receivers, two tight end. Receiver goes in motion, hands it to the back, off the right guard, still on his feet, and he's going to pick up about a good 3 yards on the carry. Let's see, Braden says, did you see Urban Meyer got his analysis job back? And so, yeah, I did notice that. They snuck and made that higher. And so Braden says, hey, Mike. But, yeah, I did see that. Let's see, Braden says Cardinals black helmets are dope. And so, yeah, I mean, I really like it. I really honestly like it a lot. I mean, when they first showed the reveal for it, I was like, you know what? This is really nice for the Cards. I like it. All right, but here we go, guys. 2nd and 7 right now out of the shotgun formation. Going to go 4 receivers and 1 running back. Ravens showing pressure. McSorley takes a snap, immediately tries to run. Not going to happen against this Ravens defense here. They get him immediately. So now we've got 3rd down coming up. We've got 3rd down coming up. Let's see, Carmichael says, I love what Kenny Pickett did last night. He should be pushing for the starting spot. Say, hey, I told you that he's going to be making that push for the starting spot. It won't be that long. I give it by week 4 at the latest. And I expect for him to be implemented into the starting lineup. When a kid's playing that good, you got to go with him. But here we go. McSorley takes a snap out of the shotgun, feeling the pressure on the run, throws it, and that is going to be a completion. So nice catch there near the sideline, being aware of where you are and making a catch right there. And so that is going to be a 1st down. All right, let's see. Mike says awesome helmets. Mike says wear JB. And so over here, let's see, Lewis says today riding with the over 33.5. And so Lewis has the over. Will it work out for him today? We'll find out. But here we go, guys. 1st and 10 from midfield for the Cardinals. Takes a snap. Going to hand it to the back. Off the left guard. And he's going to pick up about a good solid 8 yards on the carry. All right, let's see. Braden says the USFL MVP Cavante Turpin balled out last night. That he did. Carmichael says Kenny did great in the 2-minute drill. And so Kenny's been balling. Let me just refresh this. Meanwhile, we've got 2nd and 2 here. Takes a snap in the back. It's going to pick up 3 yards, which is going to be a 1st down. So the Cardinals offense is the first drive for them here, and they are moving the ball here nicely. Again, McSorley in there at quarterback for the Cardinals to start things off. Let's see, Carmichael says, I was happy the Jazz kicker isn't good. Absolutely. All right, but here we go. 2 receivers, 2 tight ends, 1 back. Going to take the snap there. McSorley has it. Throws it to the receiver. Makes a move and gonna pick up about a good 4 yards on the play. Let's see. Braden says, just wish he didn't sign with the Cowboys. And then Carmichael says, Miles Jack did great against his old team. There's always that extra added motivation when you face your old team. All right, but here we go. 2nd and 6 right now, here in the first quarter with 11 minutes to go. Ball at about the 35-yard line. And let's see. Already in Baltimore territory. Can we keep this drive going? Trips at the top of the screen here out of the shotgun formation. McSorley takes a snap here. Ravens sending 4. McSorley's going to take a deep shot and incomplete. Incomplete. So now we've got 3rd and 6 coming up. Let's see. Mike says, thanks, Braden. Braden says, waiting for 80s to come in and say something about Eli Manning. You can bank on that. You can bank on that for sure. All right, here we go. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, and a running back. McSorley takes a snap here. Feeling the pressure. Throws it up there. Incomplete. Lucky for him that was incomplete because the Ravens were about the closest people to that pass there. And so we've got 4th down coming up. So we got 4th and 6 coming up. All right, let's see. Mike says, any other USFL updates? And so that is the question. Carmichael says, I did an early mock draft for next year's 2023 NFL draft, and it has the Falcons at 1. And so that would be interesting. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. But here we go, guys. 54-yard field goal attempt is up, and it is no good. No good. He missed it. So what started off as a very promising drive there, 7 plays, 48 yards in about 3 minutes in terms of time possession off the clock, just bails because the kicker missed it from 54 yards, henceforth giving the Ravens defense the stop on that drive. And when we come back from the commercial, we will get to see Baltimore's offense for the first time in this one. Let's see, Mike says, we're JB, he canceled, and so you can't cancel JB. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. Lewis says, of course he had to miss. Yeah, sorry about that one, Lewis. Sorry about that one. All right, let's see. Carmichael says, it has Bryce Young as the number 1 player. I think it will be CJ Stroud. And so I feel like it'll be like one of those 1 and 2. And we know how sometimes throughout the end of the regular season, we have one quarterback ranked at 1 and the other one at 2. And then by the time we get closer to the draft, some expert's going to switch it up. And so there it is. There it is. And so Mike says, JB finally dang. And so Lewis says, JB with the new hoodie. And so appreciate that, Lewis. And so last time I wore this hoodie, I think was day 2 or 3 of the NFL draft. I think that's the last time I actually wore this hoodie. So, but absolutely. Oh yeah, just wait. JB's gonna have a whole collection of hoodies. Just you wait. Mike says the helmets are awesome, and so yeah, I mean it really is. I really love the design here by the Cardinals because, quite frankly, I was getting a little tired of the old helmet that they had. You know, I'm usually one that I'm all for the old helmets, but the Cardinals one, this I love it, absolutely love it. Let's see. Braden says Kayvon got hurt for the Giants. Mike says I asked around other group chats about Eli, and so what they say, Mike? What they say? Please let me know what they said. Let's see. Mike says all said 500, but 2 Super Bowls, so yes. And so I hear you. I hear you. All right. So the Ravens here with the ball. Gonna take the snap, gonna hand it to the back, and he's gonna pick up about 2 yards in the play. So here we go. That's gonna bring up 2nd and 8 coming up here. So they've got Hudley in there. Of course, Lamar Jackson on the sideline. Big plans for Lamar this upcoming season. Let's see. Carmichael says Calvin Austin should be ready to go up against the Lions next week. And so bet. Let's see. Mike says JB like. All right, here we go, guys. 2 tight ends, or actually 3 tight ends, and a back in the backfield here. Hands it to the back off the left guard. All right, so that's going to be a pickup of 4 yards in the play. So now we got 3rd and 4 at about midfield right now. So can the Ravens keep this drive going? Now, we all know last year when Lamar Jackson got hurt, Tyler Hudley did a fantastic job coming in for the Ravens last year. And so just the fact that the system that the Ravens run, to be able to have him that can come in and continue the system that they would normally run with Lamar Jackson, that is great to have. And that's very important to have, especially for a team like the Ravens, whose playbook would be drastically different than a lot of other teams out there. So he's definitely found a home here with the Ravens, and they certainly appreciate him. But here we go. 3rd and 4 out of the shotgun. Hudley throws it, and it's going to be caught, and that's going to be a first down. It's going to be a first down. Pick up of 5 yards on the play. So we got 1st and 10 now from the Cardinals' 45-yard line. Braden says Tyler Hudley played well last year when Lamar Jackson was injured. They almost beat your Packers. And so, yeah, that's right. They had him on the ropes. Mike says, JBB like, why Eli again? Mike says, Brown's not going to be that good, but maybe better than the Steelers. All right, so here we go. So the Ravens are going to put the running back out there at receiver. So he goes in motion. So quarterback's going to take the snap. Cardinals send in 5, throws it out there quickly to the big man at fullback, and he makes the reception there. Picks up a yard on the play. So we got 2nd down coming up here. Again, first quarter, 8 minutes and 23 seconds to go in the first quarter here. Ravens, this is their first offensive drive of the game. The Cardinals, when they had the ball, they drove it down there, but they missed the 54-yard field goal attempt. And so let's see, can the Ravens get the first points of the game in this one? They're going to line up here. Hudley up under center, 1 back in the backfield. Got a tight end going in motion here. So 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, 1 back in the backfield. Hudley takes a snap, play fake, feels the pressure. Eludes 1 guy, still feeling the heat, throws it on the run, gets it to the receiver, and that is going to be, he's still running. Somehow he broke out of that tackle. It felt like a glitch, but he was able to do it. So how about that? And so likely with the reception. Wow. I mean, look at that play. A lot of things happened on that play. First of all, you had to elude 1 guy. You had to keep running because you felt the pressure there. Had to put it in a place where your receiver can get the ball and only your receiver can get the ball. This is why having a guy like Hudley there as a backup has to make you feel very good if you're the Ravens. But I love that play. But here we go. Receiver's going to go in motion here. They're going to snap the ball, hand it to the back. The back ran into a wall there, just could not find a hole there. And so, at best, maybe lost a yard on the play. Again, first quarter here is 7 minutes and 5 seconds to go. And the score right now, Ravens 0, Cardinals 0. But the Ravens moving the ball here, their first drive of the game. Let's see how it goes. Let's see, Mike says, Brown's not going to be that good, but maybe better than Steelers. And Mike says, wow, Bengals versus Ravens, tough division. And so we'll talk more about this division in a little bit. That's a good point right there that we'll touch on. But here we go. Hudley takes a snap here, going to throw it to the tight end, and he's just going to get brought down there. Going to get brought down there, and so there's going to be some more loss on the play. And so now we got 3rd down coming up. 3rd and about 15 coming up. So they're going the wrong direction the last couple plays here. And so let's see if they can get it right. But right now they've got 3rd and 15 coming up here. Let's see what they do. Let's see. Carmichael says, my Steelers going 17-0 with Kenny Pickett. Lewis says, nice catch. Mike says, well, unless Pickett is that guy. Carmichael says, don't disrespect my Steelers with the Browns. He says, don't lump him with the Browns. But here we go, guys. Shotgun here. 3rd and 15 here. So we're going to have 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Hudley takes a snap. Avoids 1 guy. He's on the run again. He's going to throw it. Middle of the field, wide open. And so his receiver makes 1 guy miss. Falls to the ground. And then they bury him there at the 10-yard line. If he'd have just cut up straight, I felt like he could have at least got within the 5 if he would have just immediately cut up straight after the catch. But, hey, that's a great catch right there. And you see Hudley, he's not just running around down to try to scramble. That goes to show that he learned a lot last year as a starter. He's moving around, but he's keeping his eyes downfield here, and he's making the kind of passes that you normally can only make in Madden. That's a tremendous pass and a great catch, great concentration. You gotta like it. You gotta like it. John Harbaugh, he's all smiles on that one, as he should be. But here we go. Two receivers, two tight ends in the backfield here. Receiver goes in motion. Hudley hands the ball off to the back, off the right side. Still moving his feet before he's brought down. That's going to be a pickup of about a good 4 yards on the carry. So it's going to make it second and goal. Again, first quarter here with about 5 minutes and 5 seconds to go. And the score is still right now 0-0. But the Ravens, when the Ravens have the ball here, they're going to move the ball and they're going to take time off the clock. That's Baltimore football 101. You have your mobile quarterback. You've got your multiple backs coming in and out. And you consistently melt the clock while you move the ball. That is how you draw it up here in Baltimore. But here we go, guys. Multiple tight ends, one receiver, and a fullback in the backfield. Going to take the snap. It's going to be a toss to the left side here. Tries to bounce it outside and utilize that speed. Not going to happen. Cardinals way too fast for that to happen there. Play never had a chance. So now we've got third and goal here from the Cardinals 8-yard line here. So far in this drive, 10 plays, 48 yards in about 6 minutes in terms of time possession off the clock. Again, this is the first drive of the Baltimore Ravens so far in this one tonight. And so let's see, can they punch it off in the end zone here? If anything, do it for Lewis here. He needs a touchdown here. Do it for him. But Hudley on this drive, 5 of 5 for 41 yards through the air. I mean, he's out there eluding defenders. He's making great pass plays here. Let's see, can he get it done here on third down when it matters the most? Here we go. We're going to go with 5 receivers on the play here. Hudley takes the snap out of the shotgun. Cardinals are sending 4. He's moving around. He's still inside the pocket. He's going to try to run. This time they get him. He got a little antsy in the pocket, and this time they were able to get him for the sack. So Baltimore defense stepping up the Cardinals defense stepping up when they really needed to the most on that one. And that's going to bring up fourth down and a field goal unit. But that time receivers were trying to get open there. And so great coverage, great job, just great play defensively by the defense. They definitely won that matchup that time. And so let's see. Mike says, Allen Burrow and the Chargers guy, you name it, take a few years. Mike says, JB need to be patient with his star quarterback, Bailey Zappi. Yeah, I wouldn't call him that now. I wouldn't call him that. All right, but here we go, guys. 29-yard field goal attempt here for the Ravens. Kick is up, and of course it's good. This is Justin Tucker we're talking about. The guy doesn't miss. And so Ravens up right now 3-0. Again, that was their first drive of the game there. 12 plays, 45 yards in about 7 minutes and 22 seconds in terms of time of possession off the clock on that play. And so the Ravens got a field goal. And when we come back from the commercial, they'll be kicking things off. And we'll see what the Cardinals can do on their second drive offensively. All right, let's see. Braden says, who do you think starts first, Malik Willis or Kenny Pickett? Definitely Kenny Pickett without question. Without question. I'm going to go as far as to say Malik Willis will not have a meaningful start this season. If he does start, it's just going to be probably because of COVID or injury or something like that to where he has to go in for that game, but he will not be the starter when it's all said and done at the end of the season. Meanwhile, Kenny Pickett, I got him starting before week 5 and stuff like that. Definitely at the very latest before they hit the bye week, whenever their bye week is. And so definitely Kenny Pickett, without question. I put that odds about 98% in favor of Kenny Pickett. Let's see, Carmichael says, the better one, Kenny Pickett. Braden says, Ravens are good at drafting tight ends. They're good at drafting and developing tight ends. They do have an eye for tight ends, I will say that. Just like I said, they have an eye for linebackers, even in the secondary. So the Ravens, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And so, oh man, what's good with you? What's good with you? And you say, what's good, JB? And so old man says, did you hear KB is Las Vegas and should be playing? And so bet. And so let's see. Carmichael says Browns are the Browns Juju Smith-Schuster. And so absolutely. But again, we are currently right now at the commercial, and the Ravens just got a field goal off their last drive, which was a great drive. It just stalled out towards the end there. But I saw a lot of good things there for the Ravens, and so happy with what I saw that last drive. But of course, you got to finish it into the end zone there, because that's what matters the most, being able to finish it in the end zone, especially in the AFC North, which is going to be very competitive. We know what Cincinnati did last year. We know what Pittsburgh does regularly. And so in the Browns, they even got talent. They still got those running backs in the backfield and stuff like that. So it's going to be a tough division. Going to be a tough division. Let's see, Carmichael says, Browns are the worst franchise ever. So Carmichael does not like the Browns. I like to think that honor goes to the Jets and stuff like that, but I can see the case for that. I can see the case for that. Let's see. Mike says, I just need a challenge for my Bills. Braden says, agreed, JB, but could see Malik Willis starting, though, if Ryan Tannehill is playing terrible late in the season. And so, yeah, I just feel like he's going to be protected, kind of like the 49ers tried to do last year with Trey Lance. So he could have a couple games, but for the most part, at least this year, protected. Then maybe next year we start to have that conversation about him taking over. But here we go, guys. Cardinals with the return here at the 20. Look at that, making guys miss. Still on his feet. Look at that at the 40, 45 before they bring him down at the 45-yard line. Okay. Okay, again, I'm really liking this helmet here. I really am. It just gives a different, it just makes me look at the Cardinals a lot differently, honestly. I'll ask you guys this question here. Is Kyler Murray worth the money that the Cardinals had to pay him? Obviously for the Ravens, they are trying to figure out something for Lamar Jackson that's going to be team friendly and give him what he deserves, find that balance. But for the Cardinals, is Kyler Murray worth the money that they paid him? All right, but here we go, guys. Shotgun formation here. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, and a running back here. Going to take the snap here. McFarley, quick pass here. Gets it to the receiver. Shakes the first guy off. Still running, showing that speed right there. Isabella with the 11-yard reception there. So that's going to be a first down for the Cards here. So 1st and 10 at the Baltimore 44-yard line. Again, first quarter with about 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. And the Ravens are up 3-0. And the Cardinals right now are looking to try to respond. All right, let's see. Braden says that the Vikings are the worst franchise in the same division as the Lions, but he chose Vikings there. So I hear you. All right, here we go. Trips towards the bottom of the formation here out of the shotgun. Going to take the snap. McSorley throws the ball, caught there by the receiver, and look at that. It's bounced off the guy, stayed in bounce. All that for 4 yards, though. But here we go. 2nd and 6 coming up here at the Baltimore 40-yard line right now. Again, 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And, of course, the Ravens up 3-0 so far in this one. But, hey, Cardinals right now, they're moving the ball. Let's see how far it will go. All right, so let's see. Lewis says, not really. Braden says no. Carmichael says no, Kyler isn't. And Mike says reroute UFL. And so there you go. All right, they're going to take the snap, hand it to the back, up the middle, still moving his feet. Still moving his feet here. They blow the whistle. All right, so now we got 3rd down coming up here. It's going to be 3rd and 3 coming up here. 1:35 left to go here in the first quarter. And the Cardinals trail 3-0 right now. McSorley so far today, 5 of 7 passing for 36 yards. Again, both teams opted to start this one with their backup quarterbacks. And, it's very important, these backup roles, especially for both of these two quarterbacks. When you're the Cardinals, Kyler Murray, he doesn't really play a full season typically. So you got to make sure the backup is good to go in case you need him. But just like that, we got a penalty. That's going to move him back 5 yards right there. So every time you get some momentum going, you cannot have these penalties. That's going to mess you up. All right, let's see. Mike says, when Murray good, he's good. When he cold, he cold. Not consistently as good as Lamar. And Mike says, Victor Bolden Jr., JB. That's right. That's right. We saw him in action a couple months ago. Let's see. Braden says your boy Victor Bolden from the Stallions is on the Cardinals. And so that's right. That's right. That's right. The champion Stallions. I will say that. All right, but here we go, guys. 3rd and 8 right now. Out of the shotgun, you've got 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back right now. McSorley takes the snap here. Ravens sending 4. McSorley throws it on the run. Caught by the receiver, and he's not going anywhere after the catch. He's going to be picking up 4 yards on the play, but still short 4 yards of the 4 yards of the first down. So it's going to be 4th down coming up here. And so James, what's good with you, James? What's good with you? And so James says, go Ravens. And so he wants to see the Ravens continue their streak of 21 wins in a row and make it number 22. But here we go, guys. 4th and 4. So McSorley and the Cardinals going to try to go for it here. They got a pair of tight ends, and they've got 2 receivers in the back. McSorley and the shotgun. Ravens showing pressure, but they send 4. McSorley's looking. He's trying to run, but the pressure is there. He's still in his feet. He throws it, and picked off. Picked off by the Ravens. Either way, it would have been Ravens' ball, but excellent job getting that interception. And that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. And at the end of the first quarter, Ravens up 3-0, and they have the football as well after that turnover when we come back. But big time play by the Ravens. Let's see. Braden says Lamar Jackson deserves to be paid. How much does Lamar Jackson deserve to be paid is the question. Of course, my man deserved to get his money, but how would you structure that contract if you're the GM? Because, of course, Lamar Jackson, we know that he's a game changer, but he's certainly a different type of quarterback than most of the other quarterbacks. So how exactly does one go about giving Lamar Jackson his money? And I find the fact that, he's represented by his mom, that is definitely interesting as well. No doubt about that. Let's see. Carmichael says Lamar sucks against Big Ben. Lamar is 0-4 against Big Ben. Carmichael says the Ravens suck. I hope the Ravens lose. Carmichael's calling out every other team in the AFC North. A true Steelers fan right there. James says Lamar is 10-0 against the Cardinals. LOL. And so, hey, Lamar brings it. Lamar brings it. Exactly. But we are currently at the commercial right now. All right. Let's see. Let's see. James says the Ravens. Absolutely. And again, just to recap so far, how they've done so far in this one. Tyler Huntley for the Baltimore Ravens. He's 5 of 5 passing for 41 yards through the air. No touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked just one time. On the ground, Mike Davis, 4 carries for 8 yards. Justice Hill, he carried it one time for -1 yards. And then for the Cardinals, you have Trace McSorley. He's 6 of 9 passing for 40 yards. No touchdowns. He threw an interception that last time out there. And also, he's been sacked one time. Eno Benjamin has 3 carries for 14 yards, while Darrell Williams has 1 carry for 3 yards. All right, let's see. Carmichael says Lamar doesn't know how to beat the Steelers. And James says, bye-bye Cardinals. And so, very interesting. But yeah, I definitely want to see Lamar get paid. The man deserves to get his money. He needs to go ahead and get paid. All right, but getting ready to come back from the commercial here. Let's see. Mike says, who was the last mega contract quarterback? How much, JB? Wasn't the last quarterback that got paid big time? Wasn't that Kyler Murray? If there was somebody after Kyler Murray, guys, remind me. But was that not Kyler Murray, the last one that got paid of the quarterbacks? 'Cause I know all these receivers have been getting paid, but in terms of quarterbacks, I think Kyler Murray was the last one. And that was about a good, 230 million, 230.5 million? Now, the fact that they added that whole study and simulation of watching film, even though they removed it, that was high key disrespectful. And all they had to put that in the contract. That was disrespectful. Even though they removed it, but some things you just can't unsee. All right, let's see. Mike says, JB, what is your goal to reach 2K? And so this year is certainly my goal. Meanwhile, yeah, this year is certainly my goal to reach 2K for sure. But long term, I mean, I've got some pretty high goals. We've got some really high goals. It's just I'm not entirely sure how high it is, but I've been taking it one goal at a time, and so obviously to reach that 2K is the next goal. But certainly, we've got high aspirations here in the future. Let's see. Braden said he's on the Cowboys. Mike. Mike says thanks, Braden. Braden says I wish he wasn't though. All right, so it looks like they're going to go ahead and add 6 more seconds back here to the first quarter. All right, so after that they added the 6 seconds back there. So now we've got the last play here of the first quarter. Hudley up under center. Receiver's going to go in motion here. Got a fullback in the backfield. 1st and 10. Going to take the snap here. Going to hand it to the back on the draw. And he picks up a solid 7 yards on the play. Now that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Again, that was Davis on the carry. And the score right now, Ravens 3, Cardinals 0. All right, let's see. All right, so Mike says, yeah, the longer you wait, the more you have to pay Jackson better. And so that's one thing I'm sure that the Cowboys, they definitely learned. And so you certainly got to pay them right now because as you wait, that value is just going to go higher and higher and higher. And so every quarterback that gets paid brings that value up even more. And so let's see. James says, yes, Kyler Murray, mighty, mighty mouse. And so Mike says, wait, was it the contract? And so, yep. And so let's see. Mike says, JB, let's ask fans to get you to 2K by week one. Let's drive. And so that would be fantastic, Mike. That would be fantastic to reach 2K by the time we have the start of week one. I mean, that would take a lot of subs right there in between now and then, but that would be great. All right, but here we go, guys. Second quarter here. So we got Hudley taking a snap on 2nd and 2, throwing it across the middle to Likely with the reception, and Likely picks up the first down with that reception. And so now we got a 1st and 10 to work with here for the Ravens. Again, they're up right now 3-0. All right, so they're going to hand it to Davis again up the middle, and he's going to pick up a couple yards here. So now we're going to be looking at 2nd and 7 coming up here after the 3-yard carry on the play. Almost at midfield here. Again, second quarter with 14 minutes and 14 seconds to go. Ravens up 3-0, and they have the football. All right, let's see. Mike says, everyone thumbs up JB. And so, yeah, absolutely make sure to press the thumbs up button. And also, if you're not subscribed, definitely do subscribe to the channel as well. All right, but here we go, guys. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Hudley takes a snap. Throws it to the back at the backfield. Makes one guy miss. Makes a move. Bounces off the second, and he's going to get brought down about a yard shy of the first down. A yard or 2 shy. But there is a penalty. There is a penalty, so let's see what that call is. All right, looks like they picked up that penalty then. So it's going to be 3rd and 2. All right, so here in the shotgun. Again, you've got 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back here. 3rd and 2. Low snap, going to hand it to the back, and the defense was already in the backfield by the time they were able to get the ball to the back, so there was nothing he could do on that one. So Hill loses a yard on the play. We've got a lineman down right now for the Ravens. All right, let's see. Braden says college football starts next week. Y'all know I can't wait for college football. Absolutely love college football. I feel like at this point my love for college football and the NFL go hand in hand. They're probably exactly tied. I absolutely love both. And so, but yeah, I cannot wait. Let's see. Carmichael says the Browns have never been into a Super Bowl and have never hosted a Super Bowl. They're the only team to never host or be to a Super Bowl. And so interesting. Let's see. Braden says, JB Nation, let's drive. Yeah, let's drive. I'm sure that's what Russell Wilson would be saying. Let's drive. Mike says, what was in the contract for Kyler Murray? So, yeah, Mike, the first time they put it out there was a stimulation. I forget how many hours that they required that he would have to study film, like in addition to outside of practice hours and stuff like that. But there was a stimulation in his contract for that. But once the news went public and like the reaction from the crowd, then they went ahead and took that away out of his contract there. So, but yeah, they did put that in his contract the first time around. So that was very interesting because you just don't hear that kind of stuff. If anybody should have had that, it should have been Jamarcus Russell. He should have had that in his contract back in his days with the Raiders. He's certainly someone that needed that in his contract from what I've heard in those documentaries and stuff. But yeah, they had put that in his contract. But again, we are currently right now at the commercial right now. But the Ravens with the ball here facing a 4th and 3 right now at the Cardinals 48-yard line. All right, my next question is, which of these quarterbacks will have the better career when it's all said and done? Will it be Lamar Jackson or will it be Kyler Murray? Which of these quarterbacks will have the better career when it's all said and done? Let me know in the chat section. All right, let's see. Braden says, just saw an ad. Nebraska plays Northwestern and Ireland next week. And so, I did not know it was going to be in Ireland. I did not know that. I did see that game, but that is going to be very interesting. And so I expect Nebraska to win that game. But we know last year that they were the team that just was in every game just about, but lost so many of them. All right, but here we go, guys. 4th and 3. Hudley up under center here. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back in the backfield. They need 3 yards to keep this drive going here for the Ravens. Tight end goes in motion. 10 seconds here on the play clock. All right, they're running down this clock here. See if they actually snap the ball. And no. Great discipline that time by the Cardinals. And so it was pretty obvious there once they put the tight end in motion that they were simply not going to snap the ball. And so they'll take the penalty there, give the punter more room to work with, and we'll punt the ball. All right, let's see. Carmichael says the Browns, I just have a special hatred for. Let's see. Braden says Lamar Jackson. Carmichael says Lamar. Lewis says Lamar. So nobody's going to speak up for Kyler Murray. I'm with Lamar as well, though. All right, we've got a nice clean punt on the way. Ball takes a bounce inside the 5. All right, and they're going to down it inside the 5 there. So great punt there by the Ravens. And the Cardinals have to take over 1st and 10 from their own 3-yard line. Again, here in the second quarter with 12 minutes and 8 seconds to go. Ravens up 3-0. All right, so here goes Mike. Mike says ceiling, he'll go with Murray. Consistency, he'll go with Lamar. And so, okay. I can go with that. I can go with that. I just feel, I mean, obviously we know how important both of these quarterbacks are for their teams. Lamar, whether it's through the ground, through the air, but Kyler Murray, I mean, with his size, and he just either gets hurt or towards the end of the season, it's almost like, like at some point he's going to get cold. And so, yeah, I definitely would have to go with Lamar in that situation, most certainly. All right, but which of these quarterbacks do we think is going to be the first to get a Super Bowl between the two? If either of them get a Super Bowl, who has the better chance to get the Super Bowl first? Will it be Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray? Which one has the better chance to get the Super Bowl first? All right, let's see. Carmichael says neither of them can do anything in the playoffs. Mike says I expect him to get it done again in the playoffs or take off to a Super Bowl better reward. And so Mike says Kyler Murray. Lewis says Lamar. And so okay. I've been waiting on that time for it just to come together for the Ravens, honestly, especially in the playoffs. But it's tough, man. It's tough because every time I see Lamar in the playoffs, I'm like, this is not the regular season Lamar. But that being said, though, I still do believe in Lamar's potential, and that if he gets it together, like it's going to take an amazing defense, but the Ravens are fully capable of building a team that can still help him if he has a couple bad games here and there. But it's going to come down to some matchups. It's going to come down to some key matchups, just getting favorable matchups along the way for Lamar to get there. Let's see, Mike says JB College, that's awesome at half. Please go over the matchups. And so, bet. That is a great idea. Great idea with that one. Absolutely. Let's see, Carmichael says Murray because I don't want to see Lamar win. I appreciate the honesty there, Carmichael. I appreciate the honesty there. Mike says, not get it done and go bad or go over the hump and win the Super Bowl. All right, but here we go for the Cardinals starting way back at their own 3-yard line here. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Cards here. They're going to line up in the shotgun. 5 seconds here on the play clock. Takes a snap. It was a bad snap there. Was able to get it and threw it right when he got hit. I mean, he paid a cost to get that pass off there. Lucky for him, there was no interception, but there is a penalty. There is a penalty, but man, he took a hit on that one. So he had to deal with the snap, and then he took the hit there. And it was really the extension of the arms towards the end of that one for Jones that got him that penalty. Up, and then the helmet to the face mask. So, yep. But that penalty will help out the Cardinals. And so now McSorley's going to be up under center here. Two tight ends, two receivers, one back in the backfield. Receiver goes in motion. Going to hand it to the back. Up the middle. Going to pick up 3 yards on that carry. So now we've got 2nd and 7 coming up here from the Cardinals' 21-yard line. Let's see. Braden says, who's going to win the AFC North? You say, I already know what Carmichael is going to say. Yeah, you already know he's going to go with the Steelers on that one. You already know that. I'm sure that most of the people are going to go with the Bengals, but I'm going to go with the Ravens here. I'm going to go with the Ravens here, AFC North. I'm going to go with them to win it. I feel like last year they was decimated with injuries, and even then they started off like 5-1, 6-1. And so at one point they were atop the AFC, but at some point injuries became too much for the Ravens. But I feel like if they're healthy, that they can be the representatives this upcoming season. Meanwhile, they hand it to the back, and the plow forward, pick up 5 yards on that one. So now we got 3rd and 2 coming up here. So 3rd and 2 coming up here at the Cardinals' own 26-yard line. Can they get a first down here and keep this drive alive? 11 minutes left to go in the second quarter, and we've got the Ravens up 3-0 over the Cards. Again, I'm sure Lewis right now wants to see some points. He wants to see some points scored here. Let's see, can the Cardinals keep this drive going and make Lewis happy? All right, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back. McSorley takes a snap here, throws it to the back, out the backfield. He makes the catch, keeps his footing, still running near the sideline. And he picks up a nice pickup of 26 yards, taking it all the way to the Ravens' 48-yard line. We need to see more big plays like that. All right, let's see. Braden says, I'm also going with the Ravens. And so, bet. Going to hand it to the back and going to pick up about 3 yards on the carry. 2nd down coming up. All right, here we go. So McSorley up under center here. Going to go with 2 receivers, 2 tight ends in the backfield. Takes a snap, play fake, looking, feels the pressure, slings it up there, and that's going to be incomplete. That time he felt the pressure, so he just threw it up there to give his guy a chance, and that's incomplete. So 3rd and 7 coming up. So Lewis says Ravens winning. Okay, bet. Braden says Lewis needs the final score to be 21-13. Let's see. Mike says JB, go into detail on Murray's ceiling, your prediction, etc. And so for me, Kyler Murray's ceiling, I would say his ceiling would probably be at this point moving forward. At best, probably I'd say maybe, like in my opinion, about that 10th best quarterback. Because for him, you're never going to get a full season out of him. You're going to get at best maybe like half a season be good. And then after that, it's going to just continue to fall off. I feel like a lot of it has to do with just the punishment that he takes at that size and stuff like that. And so I just feel like you said before, he's kind of streaky, so he's someone that when he gets hot to start off the year, that's going to be great. But I've got about as much confidence in him, actually maybe a little bit less confidence in him than I do in Russell Wilson. And so I see some of the same traits in both of them. Only difference is Cardinals don't have the defense that Russell Wilson once had to lead them to the Super Bowl. So I just feel like he's not going to be a complete season type of guy that can just lead a team to the Super Bowl. I don't think Kyler Murray's capable of leading a team to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. All right, so punts on the way. And it's going to go into the end zone out of bounds. And so the Ravens will take over from their own 20. Let's see. Lewis says, going to need a huge second half. Lewis says he's got to put his faith in the backups. Got to put his faith in the backups. But again, currently right now at the commercial. But again, so far in this one for the Cardinals, Tracy McSorley, he is 7 of 12 passing for 66 yards, no touchdowns and 1 interception. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, Tyler Hudley, he is currently 7 of 7 passing for 54 yards out there. Been sacked 1 time, but hey, he's not throwing any incompletions so far. I like what I see from him. As a team, the Ravens 8 carries for 16 yards on the ground, and for the Cardinals 8 carries for 27 yards on the ground. Let's see. Mike says, you got to respect this game being his size. I wonder if he gets frustrated with that pressure. I like Murray, but Cardinals kind of a boring team. And so Mike says they are a boring team. But yeah, I mean, I do like, I do like his game. It's just, I feel like it is going to be limited in terms of, like, obviously you play to win the Super Bowl. I don't see Kyler Murray being the kind of quarterback that's going to be able to lead the Cardinals to that Super Bowl. Let's see. Braden says, just your boy Nate Burleson on the NFL Plus commercial. Mike says, JB, I think Lamar top 5 AFC. Your predictions for future. And so I say Lamar top 10. I'll say top 10 when it's like if we're talking about the complete body of work. I'll say top 10, but certainly in that top 7 conversation, certainly. But this upcoming year, though, there's going to be a lot of quarterbacks, though, in the AFC. A lot of quarterbacks to compete with. I'm sorry, top 5 AFC. Well, now that I think about it, if it's just limited to the AFC, let's see, Burrow. I'm sorry, yeah, Burrow. I still like Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes. And so, let's see, outside of them, is who else would I put above Lamar in the AFC? You know what? You know what? I changed that. Now that I think about just the top 5 in the AFC alone, Josh Allen, he could be at 5. He could be at 5. All right, here we go. So Hudley up under center, play fake, throws it to the back, makes the first guy miss, still on his feet, shakes off the second guy, and he's brought down, but he picks up about a good 7 yards on the play. Second down coming up. 9 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Again, the Ravens leading 3-0 over the Cardinals right now. And just a reminder that tomorrow will be the final game of week 2. We'll get to see the Jets and the Falcons play, and so I will be live streaming that game as well. All right, Hudley takes a snap here, going to hand it to the back, and he fights forward and gets the first down purely off of effort on the play. Needed 2 yards, picked up 3 yards, and a first down here. 1st and 10 from the Baltimore 31-yard line. Let's see, Mike says, not sold on Watson. We'll take him next year to get back to the top form. And so I agree with that, Mike. I agree with that. I feel like it's going to take, obviously the remainder of this year and some into next year before he gets it going, just because he's been so long out of the league and stuff like that. So totally agree with that. And so old man says, I'm back, JB. These dang Bill fans messing with my Wi-Fi again. They stay messing with it. All right, but here we go. Hudley takes a snap, play fake. Gonna go deep, throws it up there, and that is incomplete. Incomplete. Let's see. Mike says, LOL, oh, they're jerks. Old man says, don't forget to show JB some love and hit the like button. So, yeah, absolutely. Make sure you guys press the like button if you haven't already. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. This is just the beginning of football season. So, we're going to have a nice long road ahead of us. All right, but here we go, guys. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Hudley takes a snap. Moving around. On the scramble, and he takes the hit, shakes off the hit, fought for that first down there. I mean, he sacrificed his body on that one, and he was rewarded with the first down. So Hudley that time didn't think about sliding, said, you know what, I'm going to go pick up this first down. Took on two defenders at once. So Hudley's been in the weight room for sure. Hudley takes a snap out of the shotgun, throws it. It is caught, and they're going to bring him down after he picks up about a good 6 yards on the play. Second down coming up. All right, let's see. Mike says, invest in tables. We out of the punting business. And so Braden says, Hudley just got popped. And so Old Man says, LOL, yeah, they are, Mike, but at least there's some cool Bill fans. And so that's what Mike said. I'm sorry, that's what Old Man said. Meanwhile, there is a penalty here against the Ravens. That's going to back them up 5 yards. Going to back them up 5 yards. And we're going to be looking at 2nd and 9. All right, let's see. Lewis says, quarterback risking the season with that rush. Mike says, Allen number 1, Tua make or break. Let's see, Little Mac 10, sophomore slump. Flacco, what do you do? AFC East. All right, so the running back goes in motion here. Hudley takes a snap, looking. Going to throw it over the middle. And so it's caught there by the receiver, and that's going to take it all the way to about the 44-yard line of the Cardinals there. 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here before the half. And that was likely again with the reception. Let's see, Mike says, a few old. Mike says, I'm going to get JB to join Mafia by the end of the year. So Mike has a goal to get JB to join the Mafia by the end of the year. All right, here we go, guys. Shotgun formation. Going to take the snap. Hudley looking, throws it. It is caught, completed again. Runs over the defender, and he's going to pick up a nice gain on the play. Not to mention the first down, but hold everything. There is a penalty. And this may back the Ravens up. All right, so that is against the Ravens. They're going to back them up 5 yards here. So now we're going to be looking at 1st and 15 here for the offense. All right, so here we go. 1st and 15 here for the Ravens. Hudley takes a snap, throws it across the middle, caught. Likely again with another reception, and he takes it to about the 41-yard line of the Cardinals. Picked up 8 yards on the play. And so far in this one for the Ravens, Isaiah Likely, he's got 5 catches for 53 yards so far in this one. Hudley so far in this game, he's 11 to 12 passing for 90 yards through the air. 5 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Going to line up in a shotgun here for the Ravens. Cardinals showing some pressure on the outside. 5 seconds here on the play clock. Takes a snap. Cardinals sending pressure. Hudley throws it. It is caught. Likely shakes off the first guy. He's at the 30, 25, 20, 15. Brought down at the 10-yard line. And so, my goodness, this kid, he has been playing lights out today for the Ravens. Let's see. Braden says, I don't think that's going to happen, Mike. Mike says, Burrow, was it a fluke or the real deal? Lamar right behind you. Pick it with those tiny hands. What you got? And then he said, Watson need help, AFC North. That was funny. That was funny. All right, but here we go, guys. 1st and goal here for the Ravens. Can they get the first touchdown of the game? Lewis wants a touchdown here. He will not be satisfied with anything else. Receiver goes in motion. Hands it to the back. Hill. Looks like he's running uphill sometimes, and he picks up about a yard on the carry, maybe 2. So now we got 2nd and goal coming from the 8-yard line. So far on this drive, 9 plays, 72 yards in about 5 minutes and 25 seconds to turn time possession off the clock. I mean, the way that Isaiah Likely's been catching the ball, I say throw him up something in the end zone, let him go get it. Let's see. Braden says Isaiah Likely going to be a good backup to Andrews. Yes, he will. All right, so we're going to go with 3 receivers, 1 tight end, and a running back. Hudley takes a snap, looking, throws it, and it is going to be caught into the end zone. The most likely target, Likely himself, with the receiving touchdown. And so, way to cap off a nice drive on that one into the end zone. And so, I said it, send Likely to the end zone. He's going to get you there. And did he ever? Did he ever? Coming through in a big way. And so, Lewis says, here we go. Mike says, Mahomes is human. Herbert, dang, he good. Russell, come on with what wit and Carr off the year are AFC West. And so there you go, to AFC West. Very competitive. Braden says Likely is likely to score a touchdown in the red zone. There you go. Extra point attempt is up, and that is good by Mr. Automatic. So the Ravens lead this one 10-0 so far here in the first half of play here in the second quarter, with about 3 minutes and 11 seconds left to go in the second quarter. And so Hudley having a tremendous game right now, 13 of 14 through the air for 129 yards through the air. And he's got that touchdown now, no interceptions, was sacked just 1 time. And of course, Isaiah Likely, the only Raven in this game to have more than 1 catch, and he's got 7 catches, catching all 7 targets his way for 92 yards and a touchdown. Talk about putting in work. And so the Ravens right now up 10-0. All right, let's see. Braden says JB is likely not going to be a Bills, but a Bills by the end of the year. And so you are correct in that, Braden. Correct in that. And again, we are currently right now at the commercial. Let's see. Lewis says, let Hudley play the whole game. He needs it. He needs it. He says, let Hudley play the whole game. I mean, as good as he's playing, though, I mean, he definitely played good, but definitely expecting the second half for Baltimore to look elsewhere. Let's see. Braden says fan. And so, all right, but here we are at the commercial right now. And when you think about the Cardinals next season, being inside that NFC West division, obviously it's a 3-team race in that division there because Seattle just doesn't have a quarterback at all. And so, but it's a 3-team race in that division. Obviously the world champion LA Rams from last year. You also got the 49ers also, Trey in the Bay. Will he be able to be the difference maker that Jimmy G just wasn't for them? And of course they still got Jimmy on the roster if they need him, at least as of right now. And then the Cardinals. And so, how do you guys feel like the NFC West is going to play out from top to bottom? Do you guys think that it's going to be the Rams just from the start to finish? Or will somebody else take over, perhaps the 49ers? Let me know. How do you rank the teams in the NFC West? All right, so the Ravens getting ready to kick things off here after the 10 plays, 80-yard drive that took 6 minutes and 7 seconds off the clock. Kickoff on the way here for the Ravens. Let's see if the Cardinals are going to return it. Catches it in the end zone at the 5, the 10, 15, all the way to the 20-yard line. So that is where the Cardinals will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line here in the second quarter with 3 minutes and 4 seconds to go before the half. And let's see, Mike says, he says, okay, Matty Ice, Trevor, you were supposed to be the great one. Dang, Malik looking good. Too bad half season gone. Hey down there, Davis Mills, AFC South. Not the hey down there, Davis Mills. Oh, shoot. All right, but here we go for the Cardinals here. First and 10 here in the second quarter with 3 minutes and 4 seconds to go. Can they score for Lewis? Do it for Lewis. Out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, throws it, and overthrew everybody. Overthrew everybody. And McSorley, that was an eyesore on that pass. Yeah, overthrew the back on that one. Now we got second down coming up. Second and 10 coming up here with 3 minutes left to go here before the half. All right, so let's see. Lewis says he's got San Francisco coming in first, then the Rams, then the Cardinals, then the Seahawks. Okay. All right, here goes the Cardinals here in the shotgun. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, and a running back. McSorley takes a snap here. Ravens send in 5. Cardinals pick it up, throws it to the receiver, and what a nice catch. Great concentration, nice catch right there, taking it all the way to about the 45-yard line. And then, of course, our guy, Bolden Jr. with the catch. All right, let's see. Old man says, well, JB, we all know who that MF is now. That's right. It was Carr that Brady was talking about. And so I really honestly had thought that he was referring to either Tua or he was referring to either, well, at that time it was just Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think. Or either I thought it was going to be Jimmy G, but he meant Derek Carr. Meanwhile, McSorley with a nice pass there. And so, oh, what a cut. Taking it all the way to the 22-yard line. What a fantastic catch that was there for the Cardinals by Dortch. Lighten it up. And that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Let's see. Braden says he's got the Rams first, then the 49ers, then the Cardinals, and then the Seahawks. And Lewis says that was on target. Bet. Let's see. Carmichael says he's got the Rams first, then the 49ers, then the Cards, and then the Seahawks. And so, okay. And again, we are currently right now at the commercial. Yep, at the commercial right now. But the score is Ravens 10, Cardinals 0 at the 2-minute warning now. And so, of course, they're already in Baltimore territory at the Baltimore Ravens 23-yard line. So can they cap it off in the end zone before the half or just score something to make it a one-possession game here? All right, let's see. Mike says, Murray, you're doing great. Keep it up. Stafford, steady and boring as usual. Not bad. 49ers, what ain't you doing? And dang Seahawks, this is bad. NFL West. Yeah, the biggest question in terms of how that division is going to finish out, it's just going to be the play of Trey Lance. I feel like that's what's going to be the biggest X factor in that division. If Trey Lance goes out there and becomes the quarterback that they believe that he can be, then certainly that would elevate the 49ers into that top contention. Because they did, in the regular season, they did sweep the Rams last year. So they certainly can play head to head. But they've got to play the whole season how they did basically towards the end of the regular season in order for them to have a chance, honestly. Let's see. Old man says, don't know how to feel about that. That Brady was looking to leave a year before he did, but it's all good. We got Mac, who, that's right, Mac Jones. That's right. It all worked out. Let's see. Carmichael says, I remember either last year or the very beginning of last when I was in that chat with JB and it was Milwaukee Bucks versus someone. And so, was it the Bucks versus the Nets perhaps? Or, hold on. All right, so McSorley throws the ball there and it's going to be caught. Picks up about a good 6 yards in the play. A minute 50 left to go here before the half. And so Let's see. All right, so McSorley hurrying things up here. A minute and 35 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Running back going to go in motion here. Now we're going to be looking at 5 wide here. 2nd and 3. McSorley take the snap. Ravenson in 4. Throws it. Receiver caught it wide open, and he's going to be brought down about 6 yards away from the end zone here. That's Isabella with the reception there. So a minute 20 seconds left to go. Can they get into the end zone here? 1st and goal from the Ravens 7-yard line. So far on this drive, 6 plays, 73 yards, and about 2 minutes and 20 seconds of time possession off the clock. All right, in the shotgun again. Receiver goes in motion. Going to take the snap here. Fake it to the back. Goes to the receiver. Ball gets tipped, but it's going to be incomplete. Going to be incomplete. So they took a shot into the end zone there. And luckily for them, it was incomplete. The ball was tipped on the play. So that was a dangerous play. Let's see. Carmichael says, I don't know. It might have been 2 years. It was when I first started watching the streams. And so, yeah, it's possible that it could have been them versus the Brooklyn Nets. I remember that was a big-time matchup during that time frame. Let's see. Braden says, JB remembers Trace McSorley from when Penn State upset Ohio State in 2016. That's hurtful, Braden. That is very hurtful. Coming from a Hawkeyes fan, I thought you would share my dislike of Penn State. All right, so McSorley's going to keep it himself this time, and he's going to pick up about a good 3 yards on the carry. So now we got a timeout called here at 44 seconds here. 44 seconds on the clock. Timeout called. Going to be looking at 3rd and goal. All right, so here we go, guys. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, and a running back in a shotgun formation. 3rd and goal. Can the Cardinals get into the end zone here? 46 seconds here before the half. McSorley takes a snap here. Ravenson in pressure. Throws it up there and incomplete. But they're going to call a penalty against Williams there. That is going against Williams. And that is going to get the Cardinals 1st and goal from the 1-yard line with that penalty. And a PI call against the Ravens. Big time penalty. If not for that penalty, you get the stop and hold them to a field goal attempt. But from the 1-yard line, they're going to get 4 tries at getting into the end zone. Let's see. Braden says McSorley beat us on the last play in 2017, so Penn State has hurt me, but I don't hate them. And so he says he does not hate Penn State. I hate them for what they did back when we had Terrell Pryor. That was a painful loss to Penn State. I remember that. All right, but here we go. McSorley takes a snap. He's going to run, and oh, what a hit. What a hit. I thought he had that touchdown there, but they said no. And the moment they made contact, his momentum stopped right then and there. All right, let's see. Braden says, I'm sorry, Lewis says, ouch. Braden says, I liked Penn State when McSorley and Barkley were playing together. Yeah, now that team was interesting to watch. That was a fun team to watch. I'll admit that much. Oh, that was an excellent tackle there by the defense to keep him out of the end zone there. So he is short. Old man says, thanks, JB, bringing up bad memories. And so you can thank Braden for that one. Braden kind of pushed me in that direction. I had no choice. But again, we are currently right now at the commercial as the Cardinals call a timeout. Saving 24 seconds on the clock here in the second quarter. 24 seconds before the half. Cardinals right now facing 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Ravens up 10-0. Cardinals trying to get on the scoreboard right now. Braden says sorry, LOL. Yeah, that was definitely a painful memory right there. No doubt about that. Definitely makes one of JB's most memorable top five, like memorable losses in college football that JB will never forget. That's definitely up there. But again, stood at the commercial here, awaiting to return back to the action. Let's see, old man says it's all good. All right, let's see. Carmichael says Steelers versus Rams Super Bowl. So Carmichael says he's got the Steelers versus the Rams in the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, old man. I thought about I had looked to see who the Bills played in Week 3, and they play against I believe the Carolina Panthers. And so you may need to get ready to pay up on that one because good luck with them losing to the Panthers. All right, but here we go, guys. Second and goal. McSorley up under center here. Two tight ends, two receivers are back in the backfield. Receiver goes in motion, hands it to the back, and oh, what an excellent tackle! Excellent tackle by these Ravens here. I have to give them credit. You start a team off first and goal from the 1 yard line, and then you stop them on first down. You stop them on second down. Third down, you made them lose 2 yards on the play. That time he came in there pretty much unblocked on the play, and man, did he make an impact there. There was nothing the running back could do. Let's see. Braden says mine is when Iowa lost to Michigan State in the Big Ten championship. I remember that. I was so disappointed that year. So disappointed in both teams. Let's see. Carmichael says it's a little biased. All right, but here we go, guys. Third and goal. All right, third and goal, guys, from the shotgun. All right, we're gonna have a timeout call here. Gonna have a timeout here, and it's a big third down, so it makes a lot of sense why it's a timeout. This time, though, it's the Ravens calling their second timeout here, as they have an opportunity if they can get a stop here to try to hold the Cardinals to 3 points as opposed to getting seven. All right, let's see. Carmichael says it's a little biased. Old man says, I think it's funny Kenny Pickett is getting so much hype and love for throwing the ball 5 yards to the running back for a touchdown, yet Mac Jones gets hated on and laughed at for doing it. And so Lewis says, boom. Lewis wants this to be a touchdown, y'all. He wants this to be a touchdown. And so, but here we go, guys. Third and goal. 3 yards away from the end zone here. McSorley takes the snap here. Ravens only send in three. McSorley moving around. Steps up. Throws it. In the end zone. Incomplete. Oh, man. Incomplete to our guy, Bowden Jr. You got to catch that. Got to catch that. But it's now going to bring up fourth and goal here. So it's going to bring out the field goal unit. And so, yeah, going to bring out the field goal unit. And so let's see. Mike says if Malik play the Titans, a new adopt a team. So Mike's gonna adopt the whole league eventually. Let's see. Carmichael says it's not the touchdown he is getting hyped for. It's the fact that he was able to lead the Steelers to the touchdown in 1 minute and make the throws he did in that time. Mike says thoughts on Matt Corral out for the year. That was heartbreaking right there. It really is. You hate to see that for anybody to get injured, especially for an entire season. You know, your rookie season. But I mean, the only positive is he can learn from these two quarterbacks, both in Sam Darnold and in Baker Mayfield, and he can learn from them, learn from the coaches there. And by the time he gets healthy next year, it's a very strong possibility there may be a new head coach next year and a new system, anyways, out there next year. But absolutely hate to hear that for him and stuff like that. Really do. Let's see. Braden says Victor Bowden dropped it. Lewis says, come on, catch the ball. But they did get a field goal out of that. They did get a field goal out of that 21-yard field goal. And so we just got 9 seconds left here before the half. And so, but yeah, the score right now, Ravens 10, Cardinals 3. Let's see, old man says, you can't drop that. That's an easy touchdown. That's right, easy touchdown. You're a receiver in the end zone, the ball comes your way, and you know that you're not about to take a hit. Come on, you got to catch that. But yeah, on the scoring drive, 11 plays, 77 yards, and about 3 minutes and 2 seconds to turn time of possession off the clock for the Cardinals to end up with 3 points. All right, here we go. Kickoff on the way. All right, so there we go. And the Ravens will take over 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. With just 9 seconds here, I fully expect them to just go ahead and run out this clock and take it to the half. Let's see, old man said, true, but Mac was doing that a lot and he got hate for it. It's just because Mac Jones is a Patriot. It would be the same if Kenny was a Patriot. Meanwhile, Hudley goes ahead and take a knee, and that's going to take us to the half. With the score being Ravens 10, Cardinals 3 here at the halftime. And just to recap what we saw from these two quarterbacks, we'll start with the Ravens. Tyler Hudley, he was 13 of 14 out there for 129 yards through the air, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. I mean, he looked pretty good out there, ran the offense really smooth out there. I like what I saw from him. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, Tracy McSorley, he was 11 of 19 passing for 140 yards, no touchdowns. He had that 1 interception that he threw on 4th and 3. He was sacked 1 time so far in this game. On the ground, Ravens 12 carries for 30 yards. Mike Davis, he had 6 of those carries for 18 yards. And for the Cardinals, as a team, 10 carries for 26 yards. Benjamin had 4 carries for 12 yards, and Jonathan Ward, 3 carries for 11 yards. But receiving-wise, Isaiah Likely for the Baltimore Ravens completely just lighting it up. He's the only Baltimore Raven right now that currently has more than 1 catch to his name in the first half, and he's got 8 of them. 8 of those receptions, 8 targets, 8 receptions. What does that mean? You target my man Isaiah Likely, and it's a likely chance that you're going to get the completion. 8 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown. All that in 1 half? Come on, man. Those are fantasy football numbers that you hope for, that you dream for. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, though, their standout receiver so far has been Victor Bolden. He's got 3 catches for 34 yards. You've got Greg Dortch. He's got 4 catches for 47 yards. And you got Andy Isabella, 3 catches for 32 yards. All right, let's see. Braden says Matt Corral had the same injury that Travis Etienne had last year. And so very unfortunate there. Let's see. Mike says PJ Walker versus Barkley, the game to end all preseason games, JB. And so it's like I was saying last year, whenever the sports splits would be either playing Madden or something like that with the Panthers, and I'd be like, it's PJ Walker time. And so that it is. Let's see, old man says, by the way, not hating on Kenny, just think it's funny. Let's see, Braden says, Corral can learn how not to throw interceptions from Darnold and your boy Baker. Exactly. He's going to learn if you see a ghost, try to avoid the ghost and stuff like that. And if you're playing with a bum shoulder, sit out. He's going to learn those 2 lessons very, very quickly. Let's see, Carmichael says, well, it's because people hate the Pats, not because of the player. Like I hate on the Browns doesn't mean they're bad. They are, though. And so I hear you on that one. I really do. And so, but yeah, I mean, just because Mac suits up in a Patriots jersey, they're going to have those comparisons to Brady, and it'll never be enough when you compare it to Brady. Certainly understand that. But I've seen Mac Jones do a lot of good things. But you know who else gets a lot of like a lot of hate and stuff like that? My man Kirk Cousins, down there in Minnesota. Last season, I think he had a great season. But just because his name, nobody's going to give him the credit for that. All right, let's see. Old man says, JB halftime show. That's right. The JB Nation halftime show. Braden says, I hate Kirk Cousins because he's my annoying cousin. Braden says, JB halftime show sponsored by Omaha Productions. And so we have 80s here on the scene, so you already know what that means. Let's see what 80s got to say here, but appreciate you for coming through here, 80s. And so 80s says, Rivers has more December wins. Manning has more postseason wins. Both quarterbacks have been to the playoffs 4 times in their careers. Rivers has a record of 3-4, while Manning boasts a record of 4-3. I like how you add boasts just by the difference of 1 game. And so Mike says 80s. And so, but I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. If JB was on the committee, though, there'd be a lot of guys that would be denied being in the Hall of Fame if JB was on the committee. But I'm not on the committee, so therefore, there's nothing JB can do about it. Let's see. Mike says some recognition for Bailey Zappe. And so Carmichael says, but I do have to say Kirk Cousins is better than Mac. And so, let's see. Old man says, what's good, 80s? And so, I mean, you look at the weapons that Kirk Cousins has around him, and Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, and then you look at what Mac Jones has to work with last year, making bread and all like that out of basically sandpaper. But he did the best he can, even made the Pro Bowl. So I expect Mac Jones is going to continue to get better and better in this league. And so, but yeah, last year I'll give that one to Kirk Cousins. Let's see. Braden says Sam Darnold had a haunting experience against the Pats and was never the same. Yes, some people never recover. They just never recover. They just never recover. But who do you guys want to see start the season for the Carolina Panthers? Do you guys want to see Baker, or should I say Basic Baker, start for the Carolina Panthers? Or do y'all want to see Sam Darnold start for the Panthers this upcoming season? Let me know who you got. Let's see. Carmichael says, yeah, but have you looked at Kirk's stats over his whole career? And so I've seen that. I've seen that. Yeah. I mean, at this point, yeah, but we only got one season to go off of for Mac Jones, and so I can't make that comparison until a couple years from now, honestly. But I do like where Mac Jones is currently at right now. I do like where he's at. Let's see. Lewis says Romo never recovered. 80 says Pats are still recovering from the Philly special. Braden says Basic Baker. So we got one for Basic Baker. 80 says Sam over JB's Baker. Old man says Basic Baker. Braden says here we go. And so I'd rather we put Basic Baker out there than to put Sam I'm seeing Ghost Darnold out there. I mean, what I saw last year from Sam Darnold, I don't want to see it again. I really don't want to see it again, honestly. I really don't. And so I'm sure Carolina fans don't want to see that again. There's no way you can sell tickets with that move right there. There's nothing you can hype by putting Sam Darnold in there as quarterback one. And that's what it's about right now for Carolina. It's about building for the future and selling tickets this upcoming season if they're being real and honest with themselves. They're not playing for the playoffs and nothing like that. I mean, they're only going to go as far as Christian McCaffrey can carry them. And Christian McCaffrey has showed over the last couple of years he's not going to be durable to the end. Let's see. Mike says, JB, who? You say who? You say the basics of bakers? Let's see. 80 says, I knew JB loved Baker, and so don't get me wrong now. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Basic Baker's going to throw some picks now. He's going to throw some picks and stuff like that. But Sam Darnold, you're going to see a lot of those 3-and-outs, 3-and-outs, 3-and-outs. And so it's just not good. It's not good for anybody. It's not good for anybody. So it is not good for anybody. Let's see. Carmichael says that Sam Darnold is the best quarterback to ever live. And so I don't think Sam Darnold believes that statement. He doesn't even believe that statement. He wouldn't be the best quarterback that ever lived if he was the only quarterback that ever lived. He could not qualify for that. Ever. Let's see. Braden says that JB&M Sports Fanatic stands for Just Baker and Mayfield Sports Fanatic. I hate what you did there, Braden. I hate what you did there. I hate what you did there. That was awful. That was awful. That was awful. Oh, shoot. That was awful. Let's see. Lewis says Sam Darnold still seeing ghosts, and so yeah, he will forever see ghosts. Forever see ghosts. Forever. But yeah, we'll see how these two quarterbacks do though. But either one is going to be tough to deal with for an entire season. Let's see. Old man says, I feel bad for anyone in the fantasy draft if they have computer auto draft basic Baker or see Ghost Darnold. And so, right, right. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah, that would be really bad. And you know it's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. In a 20-person league, it is going to happen. Just make sure it's not your team. That's the only advice I can give. Just make sure you're not the one that has to put your faith in Basic Baker or Sam Darnold. Sam, I'm seeing Ghost Darnold. Let's see. Mike says, I will take lie detector. I'd rather have Nathan Peterman by a lot than Darnold. And so, ooh, I mean, if we're talking preseason, sign me up. But regular season, I mean, my man Nate Peterman has shown me in the regular season enough. I do not want the ball in his hands. Carmichael says he ain't going to be the one to do it. So Carmichael says he will not be the one to end up drafting Basic Baker or Ghost Arnold. Let's see. Mike says Darnold arm is so weak he can't. And so yeah, you won't see Sam Darnold on my roster. You just won't see that. Old man says, "Nah, I'm good. I'm getting Mac Joker Jones, and all Joker does is win." And so, well, you hear it here first. Old man's already made his declaration on getting Mac Jones. Carmichael says he'd rather draft his boy Mitchell Trubisky with the first pick of the draft. Good old Mitch. And again, we are still right now at the half with the Ravens leading 10-3 over the Cardinals. Let's see. Mike says Bills have Mitch Morse as center. Mike's like, if you want to draft Mitch Morse, he's available. And again, just a reminder that tomorrow's stream will be the Falcons and the Jets. And yes, I will be streaming that game also. Ooh, Mike says, Mike says he'd rather eat garbage. He'd rather eat hot garbage than to watch Darnold tired behind passes. And so, Braden with the soundtrack of the day, Mitch the Snitch Trubisky. I'm gonna say that all season long. I'm gonna use that one, Braden. I'm gonna use that one. Mitch the Snitch Trubisky. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. It kind of reminds me of Jake the Snake Palmer. It kind of reminds me of something like that. I like that. Let's see. Carmichael says Mitch the MVP. You mean? And so, nah, I like Mitch the Snitch better. I like that one a lot. That is catchy. That is catchy. All right, so we got kickoff about to be on the way. Look at the total yards there. The Cardinals have more total yards with 166 to the Ravens 156. But it is the Ravens that lead this one 10-0. All right, getting ready for the start of the second half here. Ravens will get the football first. Kickoff team is out there. Kickoff on the way, and let's get this party started here in the second half. This will not be returned, and so the Ravens will take over 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line, and let's see if the offense can continue to move the ball here. They had no issues throwing the ball through the air out there in the first half. Let's see if they can get more momentum going on the ground here in the second half. Again, the Ravens trying to keep this win streak alive in the preseason. All right, so they've got Brown Jr. in there at quarterback. Wonder if I'm related to him. All right, here we go, guys. We got a receiver, 2 tight ends, a back, and a fullback. Going to hand the ball off to the back. Back up the middle. Takes it to the 31-yard line there. Picked up 6 yards on the carry. Batty with the carry. All right, here we go, guys. 2nd and 4 coming up here for the Ravens. Let's see. Braden says, don't do it, Braden. Braden says, should I bring up what Anthony Brown did to hurt you, JB? No, we should not. Let's leave it alone. What's bygones is bygones. There's no need to bring that up at all. No need. But here we go. Brown up under center. Going to hand it to the back on the draw. Batty makes a guy miss. Off the left side there, and he's going to pick up the first down there. Gain of 6 yards on the play. Yeah, there's no need to do that, Braden. We can let that one go. So now we got a first down, new set of downs to work with. Let's see, Mike says, before you throw tomatoes, I thought Trubisky had a good year with the Bears, won with Bills, predicted he would start and think he is good. I'm sorry. And so Mike says he believes in Mitch. Well, here we go. Hands the ball off to the back off the left side there. He's going to pick up 4 yards on that one. So we're going to have 2nd and 6 coming up here. Again, Batty again with the carry. And let's see, 80 says, JB, does Kyler Murray play video games at halftime in the locker room? Some believe he does. Some believe he does. Braden says 80s can bring it up. There's no need for that. No need for that. But here we go. Going to go with 5 receivers on the play. Up. And before we can do anything, there's going to be movement there against the left tackle. That's going to back them up 5 yards. And so just like that, a penalty to move them back. Now we're looking at 2nd and 11 from the Ravens' 36-yard line. And so you look at Brown, and so he's just a great fit. And you're talking about just a quarterback that's developing for the Ravens system as their 3rd option at quarterback. And so here we go. Going to go with 4 receivers, 1 tight end, but we're going to go 5 wide here. Takes a snap. Brown throws it. Caught by the tight end. Going to go down after picking up 3 yards on the play. So now we got 3rd and 8 coming up here from the Ravens' 39-yard line. So can they get a first down and keep this drive going? Let's see. Mike says, Mr. JB take on the amazing Matty Ice. And so, well, Mr. JB wants Matty Ice to play, honestly, the entire preseason. He says Matty Ice needs the snaps because he's not liking what he's seeing so far. So he wants Matt Ryan to get more snaps in the preseason. And so he believes the offense needs more reps. That's his thoughts so far on Matt Ryan. But here we go, 3rd and 8 here. Brown throws it. It's caught by the receiver. That's going to be enough for the first down before he slung out of bounds there. Needed 8 yards, picked up 8 yards and a first down. So now we got 1st and 10 here from the Baltimore 47-yard line here in the 3rd quarter with 12 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. Ravens up 10-3 right now. All right, here we go, guys. 1st and 10. Brown's going to line up under center on this play. They put a tight end in motion. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers in the backfield. Takes a snap. Play fake. Brown throws it. And caught by the wide receiver there. Put it in a place where only his receiver can get it. Let's see. Mike says, I mean, he's not wrong. And so I'm sure he's agreeing with you right now. All right, so Brown's going to line up under center again. Got a fullback in the backfield. Going to hand it to the back off the right guard. Going to pick up 3 yards on the carry. Needed 2, picked up 3. There is a penalty flag down there, however. This may be against the offense here. All right, so negate that first down there. Still going to be second down. Going to move them back 10 yards. It was a holding call. That was the penalty. And so now we're going to be looking at second and 12 coming up here for the Ravens from their own 45-yard line. Here in the third quarter with 11 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the third quarter. Ravens up 10-3 and with the football. Brown in there at quarterback. Look at the difference in penalties in this game. The Ravens with 8 penalties for 64 yards. Cardinals just have 1 penalty against them for 5 yards. Ravens going to motion their running back out. Take the snap. Brown throws it. Nice catch on the slant. And so that's going to make them about a good 3 yards shy of getting to the first down. So now we got 3rd and 3 coming up here from the Cardinals 46-yard line. So far on this drive, you got 7 plays for 26 yards so far. Let's see. Mike says we will be ready for Taylor when we get Tim Settles from Washington, Delquan Jones Panthers, Jordan Phillips Cardinals, and Ed Oliver to rotate at defensive tackle and stop Mr. JB's running backs. Speaking of stop, the Cardinals get back there and they make the Ravens lose 3 yards on that stop on the play. And so 4th down coming up. Cardinals that time sniffed it out, made the play, and so now the Ravens will have to punt the ball. Again, third quarter at 9 minutes and 35 seconds to go. Punt is on the way for the Ravens. Let's see if the Cardinals are going to return it. Fair catch is symbol, and it is caught at the 3-yard line. So once again, the Cardinals offense starting from deep within their own territory from their own 3-yard line. And again, we are currently at the commercial. And again, we are currently at the commercial right now. But Brown, I mean, so far on that drive for the Ravens, 4-4 passing, 29 yards through the air. And Tyler Batty on that drive, 4 carries for 12 yards for the Ravens. So they did move the ball a little bit there, but ultimately penalty did hurt them, and they ended up punting the ball to the Cardinals. I tell you what, these Allstate commercials are just. All right, as we get ready to come back to the action here, again, we are in the third quarter here with 9 minutes and 30 seconds to go, and the Ravens lead this one 10-3 currently. All right, so Cardinals with the football here, starting out from their own 3-yard line. Lewis says, safety, let's go. He's like, we will score however they must. All right, but here we go, guys. Shotgun formation here. Takes a snap, but before anything, there is a penalty here. A penalty here against the Cardinals. That's going to move him back just a yard here on that false start. Braden says, I'm just going to say it. He says 35-28 Ducks. And so, yeah, that was uncalled for, Braden. Another cheap shot right there. Uncalled for. First you mentioned the whole Penn State stuff. Now you mentioned this. Uncalled for. Braden taking shots. I expect nothing less from a Golden State Warriors fan than to shoot his shot when he gets the opportunity. All right, here we go, guys. Shotgun formation here for the Cardinals. Going to hand it to the back. Looking for some room here. Still moving his feet. And he's going to pick up about 4 yards on the play. So now we got 2nd and 7 coming up here from the Cardinals 6-yard line. And that was Ingram with the carry. Again, 9 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. All right, 3 receivers. Got a tight end and a back. McSorley takes a snap here. Gonna take a deep shot. His guy has a step. But great coverage on the play. Up, I spoke too soon. They're gonna call a penalty on that one. I know that hurts. You went up there. You think you played great coverage, but they're just not gonna let you do it. Now let's see the replay here. Yeah, he extended that arm, and so it made it look like it there, but it would have been great coverage even without doing that. He didn't have to do that. Braden says true, JB, and so all right, so Cardinals here after the penalty here, they are now at the 43-yard line, their own 43-yard line here. 8 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the third quarter. Takes a snap, throws it to the back, and up. That's incomplete. That was actually the receiver there, but incomplete. Intended target was Dortch. He threw it quickly because the Ravens were coming with the pressure, and incomplete. All right, here we go, guys. 2nd and 10. You got 3 receivers towards the bottom of the screen here. Going to take the snap. McSorley steps up, throws it to the turf. Incomplete. Incomplete. Not enough arm on that one. Let's see. Lewis says Harbaugh's preseason winning streak on the line. And you know he does not play about these preseason games. He does not play about that. 80 says preseason is dragging along. I want the real season to start. 80 says enough with the advertisers. He wants the main course of the meal. Bring out the steak. He says stop playing around. Meanwhile, McSorley throws it, and that is going to be caught by his favorite target, Isabella. So a first down after that 16-yard completion on the play. Hopefully this can spark some life into this game here for the Cardinals offense. Went to work against Stevens and got the better of him that time. McSorley takes a snap, looks, throws it, does his best Baker Mayfield impersonation, threw the pick, tried to get the tackle and whiffed it. And so now it's going to be Ravens with the ball here at the Cardinals 35-yard line after the pick. So just like that, just when you think, okay, maybe this Cardinals offense might get a little something going, he throws the pick. His 2nd pick of the game. Lewis says touchdown coming for the Ravens. So he says touchdown coming for the Ravens. And so just like that, excellent job reading that one. And the Ravens doing what Ravens do. All right, so after the turnover here, so now the Ravens here with the football already in Cardinals territory at the 35-yard line here. Got a couple tight ends, got a fullback in the back, play fake, throws it to the back, makes one guy miss, gets tackled from behind, going to pick up 7 yards on the play. So now we got 2nd and 3 coming up here at the Cardinals 28-yard line. Again, third quarter here at 7 minutes and 42 seconds left to go. Ravens up 10-3, trying to keep the streak alive in the preseason. That stuff matters when you're trying to build a culture. You've already got an established culture of taking every game. Every time we step out on the field, we want to win. That's the mindset of the Baltimore Ravens. Here we go. Brown up under center here. Heavy formation here. Takes a snap. Going to hand it to the back. And the back busts through there. And so, I mean, there was certainly a hole in the middle, and he found it. And that was McCrary there with the carry. Let's see. Lewis says, touchdown coming for Ravens. He says, need a touchdown as soon as possible. Lewis says, stop playing with the clock and somebody score. But McCrary, he's a little banged up on that play there. All right, so here we go. 2 tight ends, a fullback in the backfield, and a back. Going to take the snap, hands it to the back off the left guard. Falls forward, picks up about 8 yards on the carry. And that was Batty with the carry there. So now we're looking at 2nd and 2 right now. And so I like the holes are starting to open up right now. They're really starting to open up right now in the backfield for the Baltimore Ravens. Lewis says, not just score a touchdown quickly. Here we go, 2nd and 2. Going to take the snap, hands it to the back up between the center and guard. Look at that power before he's brought down. Taken down at about the 5-yard line. Batty on the carry again. 6 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. And we got 1st and goal for the Baltimore Ravens. I say keep getting him the ball. I mean, it's clearly there in the middle. Keep feeding him the rock. All right, here we go, guys. 2 tight ends, a receiver, fullback in the backfield. Brown up under center. Takes the snap. Hands it to the back. The back just using his legs, still driving. They're going to blow the whistle there after he picked up 2 yards in the play. Still got slammed down there. So we got 2nd and goal coming up here from the Cardinals 3-yard line. So can the Ravens get into the end zone? All right, 2nd and goal here. Heavy personnel. 2 receivers, a tight end, a fullback in the backfield. Takes a snap. Bootlegging, throws it to the back, and Batty's gotten in the end zone, and that's going to be a touchdown. So there you go. Lewis already got the hands up here. He knows what it is. Tyler Batty, the recipient of that touchdown pass, and so that gets the Ravens in the end zone again as they're up 16-3. It's not a coincidence that these guys have this winning streak going into preseason. Who says preseason doesn't matter? It matters to these guys. All right, so we got the extra point attempt coming up here. Extra point is up. Extra point is good. All right, so it's 17-3. Ravens over the Cardinals in this one here in the third quarter with 4 minutes and 51 seconds left to go. That time, you can see the impact on the ground. That ground game was definitely huge for the Ravens on that drive there. They were getting about 5 yards, 7 yards, 3 yards, 8 yards. But you could see that they were being a lot more effective on this drive on the ground than they had been all game long, and they were rewarded with a touchdown in the end zone. So far in this one for the Ravens, though, Anthony Brown, 6 of 6 passing for 39 yards. He threw that touchdown there to Tyler Batty. And Tyler, he's got just 7 carries for 28 yards. And he also had that receiving touchdown for 3 yards in the end zone. And so you've got that going for you, not to mention the impact that Isaiah Likely had in the first half for the Ravens with his 8 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown. Let's see. Lewis says that missed field goal in the first quarter is haunting them. Lewis is seeing the ghost of 3 points right now. But yeah, that right now they got us at 20 points right now. So 20 points right now. Can I see them getting another 13? I mean, if the Ravens keep doing what they're doing, I think Baltimore can get another touchdown and all like that. Maybe even a field goal. But you're right. You're right. Let's see. Mike says patience, 80s, and so Mike says just keep it easy here. Just be a little patience, as Aaron Rodgers once said. RELAX. Just relax. So Mike over here giving great advice. But again, currently at the commercial. But when we come back, we'll get to see what Trace McSorley and the Cardinals offense can do. Let's see. Mike says join his Victor Bolden Jr. fan club. And so Mike pioneering the Victor Bolden Jr. fan club. I mean, gonna miss him with the Stallions now. We put in some work this past season. I'm not gonna lie about that. Bringing home the championship. Because y'all know JB needed. Because Braden was pointing out how JB had been so wrong with so many championship picks. And so I hadn't even realized how wrong I had been over the last couple championship picks. So I needed that one. Let's see. Lewis says Arizona going to be in a hurry up offense from here on. They got the memo from Lewis that they need to score and contribute to this, and they need to score now. Mike says Aaron Rodgers once said, "I am out of my mind. Pass the ayahuasca, please." There it is. All right, kickoff on the way here, and so let's see what the Cardinals offense can do. Gets it at the 1, takes it out. He's at the 10. He's at the 20, still going. 25, brought down at the 30-yard line here for the Cardinals. And let's see, can the Cardinals offense start to look as good as their helmets currently do right now? Because that's about the only thing looking good right now for the Cardinals is their jersey. But there is a penalty. There is a penalty. And while we await the penalty and stuff like that, I'll pose this question. So let me know. I'll mention the team, and then you guys just let me know, like, the top 2 players that come to mind when I mention this team. It doesn't have to be the best 2 players or anything like that, but just 2 players that you think of when I mention this team. We'll start with Mike's Buffalo Bills. When I mention the Buffalo Bills, who comes to mind? It can be a past player, it can be a current player, it doesn't matter the era, but just who comes to mind for whatever reason. Who comes to mind when you think of the Buffalo Bills? Let me know in the comment section, guys, who comes to mind. 2 players that come to mind. All right, here we go right now for the Cardinals. So after that penalty, they're right now at the 15-yard line. Take the snap out of the shotgun, and the Ravens immediately in the backfield there. He's going to lose about 2 yards on that one. And so now we got second down coming up here. Second down and 12 from the Arizona 13-yard line. Let's see. 80 says, JB, who's better, Troy Aikman or Steve Young? And so, 2 great quarterbacks there. And so, who is better? That's a great question, 80s. I'm not going to lie. That is a great question. Who's better? I mean, I don't want to be biased because I would lean towards Steve Young because I personally like him better and stuff like that than the Cowboys quarterback and Troy Aikman. But both are really good. Here we go, second and 12 right now. McSorley looking, throws it, threw it too high, and it was almost picked off. Almost picked off. That would have certainly moved the needle right there for Lewis if that would have been picked off and taken to the house. But that's going to be incomplete, though. And so we got third and 12 coming up here for the Cardinals. Third and 12 from their own 13-yard line. All right, so let's see. Lewis says he thinks of Bruce Smith and Thurman Thomas. And so good ones there. 80 says he thinks of O.J. Simpson and Jim Kelly. So O.J. Simpson and Jim Kelly. Again, this is just 2 people that come to mind when you think of the Bills. Doesn't have to be 2 of the best players or something like that. Just 2 people that you think of when you think of the Buffalo Bills. All right, we're going to have a penalty here. So that's going to be against the defense, it looks like. And so, yeah, that's going to be against the defense there and move the offense up 5 yards. And so let's see. Lewis says, lefty Steve Young had them legs. That he did. That he did. That he did. But I know how important Troy Aikman was for the dynasty and improving the Cowboys. But I really did like Steve Young. Really did like him. But for me, when I think of Buffalo, two players that come to mind for me when I think of Buffalo, I think of Troy Vincent, and I also think of Eric Moulds. Those are two players that come to mind when I think of the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, oh, what an overthrow that was there. So McSorley threw a bad pass on that one. I mean, your man had to step there. Victor Bolden Jr., he did his job. He can't throw it to himself. Can't throw it to himself. But yeah, that's just who I think of when I first think of the Buffalo Bills. And of course, I'm just thinking about guys that played when I was watching football as opposed to before. I also think of guys like Travis Henry. He was pretty good down there in Buffalo. All right, but the Cardinals going to have the punt unit out here. Punt's on the way. All right, so there goes the return. Already using the speed, brought down at the 40-yard line there, and that is where the Ravens are going to come back out here, and they're going to try to do Lewis one solid and try to score them a touchdown before the end of this third quarter. Let's see if they can do it. With 3 minutes and 39 seconds left to go in the third quarter, Ravens up right now 17-3, and they will have the ball from their own 40-yard line. All right, let's see. Mike says Robert Foster. Robert Foster. Let's see. I also think of Takeo Spikes also. I think that's how you say his name. Takeo Spikes back when he was in Buffalo also. I also think of him also. Let's see. Braden says your mic is okay, let me go ahead and see if I can fix that. All right, Braden, let me know if that fixed anything on that one. Yeah, let me know if that fixed anything. Let's see. Mike says Patriots not signing Beasley is a travesty. Mike says I wasn't going to say anything, but you hear it too. And so, yeah, let me know if that fixed it, guys. Let me know if that fixed it. Mike says you missed the question. And so, yeah, Mike, the question was for the Buffalo Bills, two players that come to mind when you think of the Buffalo Bills. Does not matter the era, and we're not talking about the best players for Bills. We're just talking about two players that come to mind when you personally think of the Buffalo Bills. So there are no wrong answers unless, of course, they did not play for the Buffalo Bills. But if they play for the Buffalo Bills, then they qualify. Doesn't matter if they were a backup. Doesn't matter. Let's see. Braden says sounds good now. Appreciate that, Braden. Appreciate that. Absolutely. And of course, we are still currently at the commercial right now, but the Ravens leading this one 17-3. Will take over from their own 40-yard line. And so Lewis says Doug Flutie. Good old Doug Flutie. Mike says your team would be much better with Beasley. And so I feel like the Cowboys should bring him back in all honesty. The Cowboys can certainly use his services right now more than anybody. Let's see. Braden says, as old man would say, it was those Bills fans messing with your mic. He says the Bills fans. I say it's the Giants fans that are messing up. Let's see. Mike says Cornelius Biscuit Bennett and Vince Young. And so Mike says Robert Johnson. Okay. All right. So the Ravens here taking over from their own 40-yard line here. Two receivers towards the bottom of the screen here. Going to take the snap and hand it to the back off the left side there. And he's going to pick up a gain of 2 yards on the play. So now we got 2nd and 8 coming up here from the Baltimore 42-yard line. Again in the third quarter with 3 minutes and 28 seconds to go. Ravens up 17-3 and looking to try to add to that lead while taking time off the clock. Let's see. Lewis says the curse Scott Norwood. And Mike says Trent Edward. Good old Trent Edward, Mike. Good old Trent Edward. I mean, mentioning Trent Edward, that reminded me of the J.P. Lossman days and stuff like that, the forgotten quarterback of that draft class. All right, but here we go, guys. Brown out of the shotgun, throws it, and that's going to be caught there by Boyle, and he's going to pick up a gain of 4 yards on the play. So now we're going to be looking at 3rd and 4 coming up here. 3rd and 4 for the Ravens in the third quarter here with 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Again, Ravens leading this one 17-3, and with the football. All right, let's see. Braden says, Stevie Johnson and Ryan Fitzpatrick. Good selections there, Braden. Good selections. Got to root for the underdogs, right? Braden says it's probably Eli Manning. I would not be surprised. All right, but here we go. Brown takes a snap here. Gonna go deep. And, oh, the receiver tried to adjust to it, got the penalty, but that only happened because he continued the fight to get to the ball and didn't let up just because he thought he had the pass interference. But he kept trying to fight to get to the ball, and it paid off. Let's see, Mike says, Stevie Johnson, and what was quarterback Toole's first name? I believe it was Jeff Toole. That sounds about right. Jeff Toole's, I remember. That sounds about right. Lewis says OJ. Mike says Bills quarterback from Eagles. Forgot his name. Bills quarterback from the Eagles. Bills quarterback from the Eagles. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Mike says Willis McGahee. That's right. And C.J. Spiller. Two iconic names there. Two iconic names there. All right. You look at the amount of penalties the Ravens have had against them. 10 penalties for 106 yards. Yet they still lead 17-3. But here we go. Brown up under center here. Takes a snap. Play fake. Brown looking. Brown moving around. Brown throws it away. Oh, he threw it to the back there, and so the back dropped it there. So we got 2nd and 10 coming up there. Braden did it. Braden went there. He said E.J. Manuel. He went there. And let's see. Mike says, shoot, he slipped on Matt and got really hurt. Let's see. Braden says Kevin Cobb. That's right, Kevin Cobb. That's right, because back then the Eagles were producing a bunch of second quarterbacks that were just going out there. And the moment they joined a different team, they were disappointing. I remember they traded A.J. Feely away and so, to Miami. That was a huge disappointment there for those poor Dolphin fans back then. And so, yeah, they were developing quarterbacks, though. All right, here we go. Brown looking in the pocket, going to go deep. Oh, nice pass. Nice pass. And he's going to take it all the way for a touchdown. And so touchdown Ravens. Jordan Stout in the end zone there. How about that? I'm sorry, not Jordan Stout. That was Webb there. Wow. Wow. Just like that. And so, I mean, that was a great pass because that time the defender chose to try to make a break on the ball. He missed it because you can't defend the perfect pass. That's what they always say. And that was a great pass right there. I'm not going to lie, that was a really great pass right there by Brown, showing that he is more than just a runner. Extra point attempt is up, and it is good. And so, Lewis, I hope you got that thank you card ready for the Ravens because they are trying to get you to that mark today. And so, yeah, the Ravens scored that touchdown, and they're up 24-3 here in the third quarter with 2 minutes and 2 seconds left to go. We'll see if the Cardinals care about scoring a touchdown at all on their next drive, but they need to score something. And so, let's see, Mike says, yeah, Mike says Tyrod Taylor ended the playoff drought. He did do that down there in Buffalo. He did do that. Let's see, Mike says, looked good for Giants today. Lewis says, boom, there it is. There it is. Braden says, Lewis needs another touchdown. That's right, one more touchdown for Lewis. That's all he needs. That's all he's asking for, just one more touchdown. That's it. It's that so hard. And so, Lewis, he's happy with that. Braden says, I remember Kevin Cobb when he was with the Cardinals. Let's see. Old man says, that was a great pass, and I'm back, JB. These Bill fans going crazy today with the Wi-Fi. And so, I hear you. They've been going with my mic the last 3 streams for real. So, something's going on. Let's see. Lewis says, Giants with the comeback win tonight. And so, Mike says, Big Shaq Lawson. That's right. Gregory Roser. That's right. AJ hey, there it is. There it is. Von Miller. All those guys. You say, what you going to do when the Bills' edge rushers run wild on you? Well, we're just going to run the ball, Mike. That's all we're going to do. We're just going to run the ball. Run the ball. Doesn't matter the score. Bill has shown that. We're just going to run the ball. But shoot, I think Buffalo. I also think about when y'all took Lawyer Malloy from the Pats. I think about Lawyer Malloy. Lee Evans, because Lee Evans, I remember he had that speed, so he was difficult to defend on Madden back then because he had that speed. So you had to make sure you match up somebody with speed on him. Let's see. Old man says, Bill fans saying if we can't get we'll get JB, and so exactly. Or they're trying to go for both. They're trying to go for both. Honestly, trying to go for both. Mike says, bring it, JB. And so I remember that time that the Buffalo Bills had T.O. on the roster. I remember that. They had T.O., but T.O. been somewhere everywhere. Not going to lie. Let's see. Mike says, the law firm. Let's see. Bills also had Marshawn Lynch. You guys had Marshawn Lynch, and he did not look like the Marshawn Lynch that was down there in Seattle. Did not look like it. But again, we are right now here in the third quarter. Again, 2 minutes and 2 seconds to go. And the Ravens, after that touchdown, they're up 24-3. Baltimore feeling extremely confident here. Looks like they're going to grab W number 22. Can the Cardinals do anything about it? Well, if they're going to do something, now is the time to get it started. Going to catch the kickoff here. He's about the 15 here, 20. Brought down at about the 26-yard line, and that is exactly where the Cardinals are going to take over here. All right, let's see. Mike says Robert Woods. Mike says where Marquise Goodwin. Braden says, did you see your former quarterback Danny Edling's touchdown run? I didn't get to see the touchdown run and all like that, but good for him. That's the old man says, yeah, until he hit and run an old lady, and Bills didn't want that problem. And so, right about that, right about that. All right, so here we go for the Cardinals here. Trailing by 21 right now. McSorley going to call the screenplay. Running back gets it. And he's going to get brought down a loss of a yard on the play. Ravens defense is flying around to the ball, and they are not taking any prisoners right now. And so Lewis says, good old Don Flash BB. Mike says, where's Stedman, quarterback? Did we mention EJ Manuel? There's no way we can go this whole stream talking about the Bills and not mention EJ Manuel. There's just no way we cannot do that. All right, but here we go, guys. 2nd and 11 now. Going to go 5 wide. McSorley throws it over the middle on the slant. He gets it, and that's going to be a pickup of about a good 13 yards on the play. Of course, Victor Bolden Jr., the preseason star. Let's see, Mike says Chad. All right, here we go, guys. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line here for the Cardinals. McSorley takes a snap. A great block by the running back there to get the guy that was blitzing down. But McSorley ultimately goes out of bounds. All of that just to pick up a yard or 2 on the play. We got 2nd down coming up here. Let's see. Old man says, now you got him driving drunk. I say if you get caught drinking and driving or drinking drunk, you lose your license. And if you get caught again, 5 years in jail. They did get him. They did get him. Mike says Chad BB. Against 2nd and 7. Going to take the snap here. McSorley on the run. Overthrew the back on that play. Overthrew the back on that play. Mike says Pearl Street. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter right there. And, of course, the Ravens leading 24-3. 24-3. And so we spent some time talking about the Buffalo Bills players and former players. And so I'll ask the same question, but the team that I'll throw out there will be the Green Bay Packers. So when you think of the Green Bay Packers, that's right, Braden's Green Bay Packers, what 2 players come to mind for the Green Bay Packers? Could be past, could be historic, just somebody that suited up for the Green Bay Packers at some point. Didn't even have to play, just sit on the roster for at least a season. And so definitely let me know. Let's see. Mike says Marshawn loves Skittles and parties. Mike says ask Ode about Pearl Street. All right, so Mike immediately gets started with Brett Favre. That's right, Brett Favre for the Green Bay Packers. And then BB. And so, yeah, when I think Green Bay Packers, first couple players, I think of when they had Charles Woodson. Of course, Charles Woodson was formerly with the Raiders, but I think of his time in Green Bay as well. That was huge. I think of guys like, A.J. Hawk, of course, the Ohio State Buckeye, A.J. Hawk. Think of guys like that. All the many receivers that they had, even before the current guys they have now, the guys like Javon Walker, Donald Driver, those guys. And so, let's see. Mike says Reggie White. Of course, the great Reggie White. Lewis says can't think, brain cramp. Maybe it's all my questions. Maybe it's all my questions. Oh, let's see. Braden says, I'm going to throw out a bunch of random names out there. I'm looking forward to it, Braden. I'm looking forward to it. Didn't the Packers have like Julius Peppers for a little bit, or am I mistaken in that? I think they had Julius Peppers for a little bit, if I'm not mistaken, at one point in time. Let's see. Mike says, catch you tomorrow, JB Nation. Yeah, appreciate you, Mike. And yeah, certainly looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow for those Falcons and Jets. Mike says, late JB, good show. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right, here we go, guys. 3rd and 7 to start off the fourth quarter here for the Cardinals. McSorley right now, 14 to 28, passing for 168 yards, no touchdowns and 2 picks. Can he put together a touchdown drive? McSorley takes a snap, throws it, caught by the receiver, Isabella. He's going to get to the first down line, but I think he's just a little short of the first. Just a little short. All right, let's see. Braden says James Jones. Remember him. Jordy Nelson, of course. Jared Boykins. Okay, Ladarius Gunter. And HaHa Clinton Dix. With a name like that, how could we forget that? And so Braden says, yes, they had Julius Peppers for 3 years. And so, okay. So I was correct in remembering that. Okay, that's right. You guys had Ahmad Green also. That was one of the backs that Brett Favre had in the backfield. Ahmad Green. He did nothing with the Houston Texans, but did good with you guys. And so Mike says, see ya, Mike. He says Matt Flynn. That's right, Matt Flynn. Good old Matt Flynn from LSU. All right, here we go, guys. 4th and 1 for the Cardinals here. And honestly, they're going for it out of desperation at this point. You're down 21 points here. You got nothing more that you can lose. McSorley takes a snap here. Going to hand it to the back. In the back, still fighting. He got the first down there. Had to work hard for it, but he picked up 3 yards. They needed 1. They got him 3. And that's going to be a first down and a fresh new set of downs, guys. So 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. So far in this drive, 7 plays, 24 yards, and about 3 minutes and 40 seconds from time of possession off the clock. And again, we are in the fourth quarter here with 13 minutes and 42 seconds to go. And so let's see. Lewis, now that he's operating, now that the brain freeze is gone, or the brain cramp, he says Jim McMahon and Julius Peppers. Meanwhile, McSorley's going deep. Incomplete. I honestly don't know which of the 2 receivers he was aiming for. He's been playing with that kind of accuracy all game long. And yeah, that's incomplete. That is incomplete. And so Lewis says Sterling Sharp. That's right. Good old Sterling Sharp. All right, here we go. McSorley up under center. Going to take the snap. Going to hit it to the back off the right guard. And he will pick up about 2 yards on the carry. Let's see. Braden says Jim McMahon, 2-time Super Bowl champion against the Pats and Hall of Famer. Those are the qualifications. Let's see. Braden says Jermichael Finley. Let's not forget Bubba Franks. Good old Bubba Franks. Can't forget him. All right, here we go. So McSorley's going to be in the shotgun here. You've got three receivers at the top of the screen. Going to take the snap. Looking. Throws it, and it is caught by the receiver. Brought down at about the 29-yard line there for the Cardinals. And, of course, Victor Bowden Jr. with a 19-yard reception on the play. Let's see. Braden says Casey Haywood. Braden says Micah Hyde. That's right. Lewis says Cardinals, let's go. Lewis says if the Cardinals can do this, he has the money. He will have the money. Braden says Eddie Lacy. That's right. How can we forget about Eddie Lacy? James Starks. McSorley takes a snap, throws it. Caught. It's going to be a first down and taken all the way to about the 14-yard line. Okay. Let's see. Old man says Ravens need to bring in one of those top free agent receivers. Can't expect Lamar to carry the whole offense. Even Joe Flacco had a great receiver. And so that is true. And again, Cardinals trailing right now 24-3 right now. But let's just see. Can they get into the touchdown? Can they get into the end zone here? That'll make the offense feel better. And it'll make Lewis happy. McSorley takes a snap here. Going to hand it to the back off the left side here. Met by a linebacker. And so he picks up a yard on the play. So you got 2nd and 9 coming up here. 2nd and 9. Ball right now at the Baltimore 13-yard line. Get on this drive right now. 11 plays, 61 yards for about 5 minutes and 40 seconds in terms of time of possession off the clock. Braden says Ben Kirk. Did we already say Clay Matthews? All right, so here we go. We're going to go 5 wide here. So again, 2nd and 9 right now. McSorley in the shotgun. Takes a snap. Running. Looking. He's going to scramble. And he's going to pick up some yards. However, there is a penalty. So you know what this means. It's going to bring the offense back. So a 10-yard penalty there against the Cardinals. Braden says, got one more. Desmond Howard, the Patriots, and Buckeye Destroyer. I don't like how you said that, Braden. I don't like how you said that at all. At all. Lewis says, man, these penalties. Braden says, no. What about Mike McKenzie? I remember Mike McKenzie for the Green Bay Packers back in the Brett Favre era. Mike McKenzie. All right, here we go, guys. 2nd and 19. McSorley takes a snap. Going to go deep here. And incomplete. This time, no penalty there against Stevens, so he won that matchup. Braden says, I'm becoming 80s, LOL. Exactly. And again, the Cardinals here, they just want to get a touchdown right now. They just want to get a touchdown here. Feel better about the offense. All right, here we go in the shotgun. Up, looks like a penalty here. But it's going to be a timeout called here by the Cardinals. So they got 2 timeouts remaining here. 2 timeouts remaining. They're down 24-3. Already had to burn a timeout. You definitely want to save those timeouts if you're trailing by 21 points. You know, especially if you're going to score here, to try to give yourself the best chance possible. But the Ravens tonight, they have seen great quarterback playing so far tonight. 21 of 23 combined from their quarterbacks and 3 touchdowns and no picks, 207 yards through the air. A great day passing-wise for the Baltimore Ravens in this preseason game. All right, but here we go for the Cardinals, though, taking a snap here. It was 3rd and 19. McSorley trying to find a lane here. Throws it to the back. First guy missed. Second guy missed. Look at him stumble all the way to the 2 yard line there. And so the Cardinals are 2 yards away from making Lewis a very, very, very happy man right now. So close. Lewis says yes, yes, yes. He knows what it is. Looks like we have a Cardinals player down right now. Braden says so close. All right, so we're going to have an injury timeout. But again, we are in the fourth quarter with 9 minutes and 38 seconds remaining. And the Cardinals, who trail 24-3 right now, just 2 yards away from their first touchdown of the game. Again, this drive, 13 plays, 72 yards in almost 7 minutes in terms of time of possession off the clock. And again, currently right now at the commercial. Let's see, Lewis says, not the best time for that Ravens defense to show up. Right, right, most definitely, most definitely. But with 10 minutes and 10 seconds to go still in the fourth quarter, and we're at 27 combined points, you got to be feeling pretty good right now, Lewis. Got to be feeling pretty good right now. Let's see, Lewis says, pick one you dislike more. And so, what do you mean, Lewis? Ooh, I see what you did there, Lewis. I see exactly what you did there. Eli Manning or Michigan. It's easy for me, actually. I hate Eli Manning more than I hate Michigan. That's easy. I mean, I really hate Michigan, but we've been giving them a lot of L's over the years and stuff like that. A lot of L's and stuff like that. But I just cannot stand Eli Manning. The hatred is that deep. This is the personal vendetta here. Michigan is a rivalry. Eli is a personal hatred for me. So I would say I dislike Eli Manning more than I dislike Michigan. Lewis says that he agrees. Bet, bet. All right, here we go, guys. First and goal. 2 yards away. Cardinals hand it to the back, and ooh, this Baltimore defense stuck him. Stuck him. Now, we've seen this defense clamp down before. Now we got second and goal from the 2 yard line. So far in this drive, 14 plays, 72 yards, and about 7 minutes and 45 seconds in terms of time possession off the clock. Braden says, wow. And so, I mean, you know, like, I don't know how to put it, Braden. I don't know how else to put it. That the hatred for Eli is that deep. Meanwhile, McSorley, play fake. He's running. You can tell he wants to scramble. He dives. Did he get there? Did he get there? It looks like he did for the touchdown. And so now Lewis can celebrate because the Cards have got him a touchdown. And as soon as they get, and that's gonna move the needle. That's gonna move the needle. Let's see. Braden says JB and Eli Manning need a therapy session. And so I have my dislikes, believe me, but Eli Manning is at the top of the dislike chart for me. There's not another player, there's not another team, or anything I can think of that my hatred is stronger than for Eli Manning and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's a touchdown, and so Lewis loves it. He loves it. And they're just showing the replay here. Braden says they have to make the extra point, though. Lewis says, come on, give him the touchdown. Let's see, old man says, let's make that happen. I'll be there to make sure Eli be respectful to JB and listen to the facts JB speak about him. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'll take him on. You can add Peyton to that mix as well. Wasn't too fond of him. So yeah, I will say that. I will say that. I will say that. A strong dislike towards Eli. You guys will get me to do a progressive commercial with Baker first before you'll get me to talk to Eli Manning. That's just not happening. That's just not happening. Just not happening. Ooh. Oh, so they took the touchdown away? Uh oh. Lewis may need to talk to the commissioner after this. So now we're looking at a third and goal since they took back the touchdown. Let's see if the Cards can get it this time. McSorley takes it, gonna keep it himself, and this time, no doubt about it, gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Let's see. Braden says JB has to watch Eli's places. Never, 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 never. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Let's see. Lewis says, man, good thing he kept it. Oh, yeah, that was a great read right there to keep it. That was a great read to keep it. But, hey, he's just doing what he was used to doing at Penn State on that play. And so that's going to get the touchdown. And after the extra point, Lewis will be a happy man. Now, watch they go for two and don't get it. Up, we currently got a Raven down right now. All right, so I'm going to ask everybody this question right now as the Ravens are going to be currently checking on the injured player. So we got an injured player timeout. But guys, let me know specifically for college football a loss that your team experienced that probably hurt you the most, like the most hurtful loss that your team experienced and all like that while you were watching a football game and stuff like that. So your favorite team, most painful loss that you can recall that your team had. Let me know that here in the chat. That's right, the most painful loss you saw your team endure in college football. Because for me, I can think of most painful loss and I can think of most embarrassing loss. Two different losses, but still, most painful and most embarrassing loss, two different losses right there. But yeah, Lewis wants them to just kick the extra point. Let's see. Braden says he mentioned it already. The Iowa versus Michigan State Big Ten Championship one. And so, okay, okay, okay. I mean, last year's loss to Michigan was awful. It was awful. But that was our second loss of the season. The defense was not playing that great, and we had some unlucky breaks. But I would have to say, back when we had won the championship, the year after the Buckeyes had won their most recent championship that they won, and we had Zeke and company come back, all those guys, and then we had lost to Michigan State, a game in which Zeke was correct. It was the offensive coordinator that time that cost us that game and all like that. That second, like right the year after we had won the championship, and like they kept trying to run it between the tackles, and it wasn't there and like they made no adjustments. We were clearly the better team than Michigan State, but we had horrible play calling, and it cost us. And so that was the most hurtful loss because I knew that we had a championship caliber team that year, but we never got to go because of the coaching staff not making an adjustment and costing the players an opportunity for a championship. All right, here we go. And it's good. It's good, Lewis. So it's 24-10. And so that right there is all Lewis needed from this game tonight. Here in the fourth quarter with 8 minutes and 29 seconds to go, we have the Cardinals just scoring a touchdown and making it a two-score game now, but the Ravens are leading 24-10. And we know how they are with that run game. They can certainly take time off the clock. All right, let's see. Braden says most embarrassing was the game after that against Stanford in the Rose Bowl. And so, oh man, me most embarrassing game. Whoo. Man, most embarrassing game for the Buckeyes. I want to say it had to be perhaps when we lost to Purdue, down at Purdue, and we went down there, and I had no idea what we were going to be in for, but the offense just looked like a shell of itself. They came out fired up. I thought they were us for a minute. We got traumatized after that game. I remember that. Like, I looked at the rest of the schedule, and I thought it was a wrap. I was like, there's no way that we had lost to Purdue of all teams. Purdue had beat us, and so that hurt. That one was like embarrassing. I was really embarrassed after that loss. Really was embarrassed. All right, kickoff is on the way. No return by the Ravens on that one. They'll take over from their own 25-yard line. Let's see. Old man says the Ohio State losing the Florida title in '07. Old man, I had almost forgot. I had almost found a way to forget about that game. That's definitely up there. That has to be 1B, probably even 1A. Because they beat us not just in football, they beat us in basketball too that year, and it was so awful. I mean, Ted Ginn Jr. getting hurt, that hurt us a lot. But, I mean, I really thought that we were the best team when we had beaten Michigan that year, and so I was thinking, okay, we're about to get this championship, and then out of nowhere, Florida just steamrolled us, and it wasn't even pretty. That one hurts. Just thinking about that one hurts. Brown takes a snap there and throws a pick. He throws a pick to the Cardinals here. So trying to make this game a game here. Now the Cardinals inside the 20 at the 19 after the interception that Brown just throwed. And so now with 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go, the Cardinals with a real opportunity to make this a game right now. Big mistake there by Brown, and he knows it. He knows it. Let's see, Lewis says record improves to 4-2 on this stream. And so, hey, what can I say? I feel like my streams do help at least one person get good luck. Everybody else might get bad luck, but one person gets good luck. Because I know during college basketball, at least up until the start of the tournament, old man was killing it with those Virginia Tech picks week in and week out. So, let's see. Old man says you lost 300 on that game. Oh wow, that's yeah, that would be most painful for sure. 300. Wow. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, different quarterback in here for the Cardinals. Throws that ball. Was it completed? Looks like a reception. They pick up 3 yards on the play. So that's Jarrett Garantano, looks like, at quarterback. The rookie out of Washington State in there at quarterback. So Jarrett in the shotgun here. Got a tight end and 3 receivers at the top of the screen here. Takes the snap, hands it to the back. Back off the right side there. Going to pick up a yard on the carry. So now we're going to be looking at 3rd and 6 here in the fourth quarter with 7 minutes and 35 seconds to go. Mark Money Andrews. All right, so here we go out of the shotgun again. 3rd and 6 here. Can the Ravens defense bail out the Ravens here and get a stop? Ravens Sending four. Throws the ball up in there, and that is going to be a touchdown for the Cards. So how about that? Just like that, in a blink of an eye. They go from just 3 points to now, with that 6 points right there, they'll have 16 with the opportunity to make it 17. Will we see another fourth quarter comeback like we witnessed when Buffalo beat Indianapolis? Let's see. Old man says, yeah, they won me a lot of money until they let me down. Hey, that's college basketball for you. At least I won more money than I lost. And so that's the goal at the end of the day, to win more than you lose. Because there's going to be some wins, there's going to be some losses. But they did catch fire. I forget what was the game that we were watching in college basketball last season before the tournament though. I think it was like the conference tournament game, and like both teams fans started fighting, then it like escalated to like the court and stuff like that. Then they paused the game for almost like an extra hour, it felt like. I forget what two teams we were watching though. Meanwhile, extra point is good. So, hey, we got a 7 point game now, thanks to the Cardinals taking advantage of the interception that gave them tremendous field position. Now, the score right now, Ravens 24, Cardinals 17. And so, we're being rewarded for sticking here at the very end of this one. And so, Cardinals 14 points unanswered here in the fourth quarter. Can they find a way to take the lead here in the fourth? And as Lewis says, an exciting game now. Here in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes and 55 seconds left to go, and the Ravens leading 24-17. But hey, those Cardinals, they scored the last 14 points here. Can they keep it rolling? Lewis says the streak's still in jeopardy. That's right. As little excitement here, a little excitement here. And Brown knows he made that mistake last time. He just got to play smart, and let's see. Let's see. Braden says in response to the question I asked, he said one of the team's names was Bryant. That's right. One of them was Bryant. But I don't remember the other one. I can't remember who they played either. Because I remember I just picked up that stream there and stuff like that for that day to look at a different team. And so, but man, when that thing broke loose and like chairs were flying, people were getting arrested, thrown out, all that stuff, it was crazy. It was crazy. I feel like last year I just had a lot of luck when it came to picking a game to stream last year because we saw that game. That's right. Oh, that's right, old man. It was Rager's. That's right. The Rodgers versus the Bryant. Okay, bet. Appreciate that, old man. Okay, bet. Those were the two teams. Meanwhile, Brown takes a snap up under center, hands it to the back. And the back off the right side, going to pick up 3 yards. Now we're looking at 2nd and 7 at the Baltimore 28-yard line. Of course, if you're Baltimore, you want to take time off the clock and you want to come down there and score something here. Protect the streak at all costs. Let's see. 80 says, good night, JB and everyone. I have to get up early and troll Phillip Rivers. That's dedication right there, 80s. That's dedication. Troll the man through retirement. I admire that. But yeah, good night to you. Good night to you, and thank you for coming through. All right, so the running back goes in motion here. Brown's looking. Brown's going to throw it, and it's caught by the receiver. But man, did he take a hit to the back there? But it's still going to be a first down. Needed 7 yards and picked up 7 yards. Here in the fourth quarter, with 6 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in this game, Ravens up 24-17. Old man says goodnight, 80s, and so does Braden. Brown up under center. Got a fullback in the backfield here. 2 receivers towards the bottom of the screen here. Takes the snap. Brown on the delayed draw. And, well, the defense was not fooled at all. Defense gets in the backfield quickly here. And now we're looking at 2nd and 15. Again, the most important thing for the Ravens here, run off as much time as you can and try to score. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, though, hey, you scored 14 unanswered here, so why not? Why not if you can get a stop here with the opportunity to try to take the lead? 5 minutes left to go here in the game. Brown in there at quarterback again. For the most part, Brown's been looking pretty good today. 9 to 12, 89 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, but that last pick was costly. Here we go. Brown takes a snap there and overthrew the receiver there. Incomplete. Had to put it in a place where only he can go for the ball there. Incomplete. But now we're looking at 3rd and 15 now. 3rd and 15. Again, fourth quarter with 4 minutes and 46 seconds to go. Can the Cardinals defense get a stop here? It's 3rd and 15 right now. 5 seconds on the play clock. Ravens are in the shotgun. And they didn't even snap the ball. Didn't even snap the ball. Didn't call a timeout or nothing. And so now they're going to be looking at 3rd and 20 right now. Delay of the game. All right, so here we go, guys. 3rd and 20. Ball from their own 25-yard line. Brown's going to take the snap. You're going to call a screen here. He's got it to 25 now. Goes out of bounds at the 27-yard line there. And that's going to be a stop for the Cardinals defense there. Let's see. Braden says, my favorite streams of yours was last year's college football championship game and the Bills Chiefs playoff game last year. And so my favorites has to be last year when it was the Buckeyes versus Utah. That was one heck of a game, scoring back and forth, whether we're talking special teams, whether we're talking offense, or fireworks. It brought everything. I mean, bring your own popcorn and then some. Lots of firework. I also enjoyed, especially towards the end, that Penn State and fighting the Illini one. Also the Oklahoma Texas one. Those were some of the highlights from last year in terms of just the game itself and the stream being absolutely amazing at the college level. And so, and then at the NFL one, I mean, hey, that Bills and Chiefs one, that was a great one. That was a great one. But we had many great games last year in the NFL. Many great games. Now, my least favorite one had to be any game that we had to sit there, the one that we had to sit there for the Saints and watch Ian Books go out there last year. That was just awful. That was awful. To put that on a primetime game, the NFL should have substituted the moment that they saw that Ian Books was going to be quarterback and they should have moved somebody else to that spot. Lewis says, if the Cardinals score, do they go for two? Yeah, Lewis, I feel like if the Cardinals score at this point, you got to go for two because you got to play to win the game. And if there's no overtimes in preseason, then you play to win the game. You got to go for two. But here we go for the Cardinals. 1st and 10 from their own 15. Going to take the snap. Play fake. Looking. Throws it. Incomplete. Incomplete. And so Jarrett tried to throw that one, but that is incomplete. Braden says that game was crazy. Old man says, dang, JB, people saying Tom missed preseason because he was about to get divorced again. Don't know if it's true, but it's going around Twitter. You know, they always say where there's smoke, there is fire. I don't know how true that is, though, but I can certainly say this. I'm pretty sure that this is going to be his last season. It should have been his last season like a couple seasons ago. But, yeah, I mean, at some point, he can't keep doing this. He can't keep doing this. Ball is incomplete. But I really hope that's not the case. I really hope that's not the case and that they can make it through one more season and then he legitimately go ahead and give it up and spend more time with his family afterwards. I mean, he's got a nice gig, lined up after this anyways. All right, here we go, guys. 3rd and 10. Going to take the snap here. Throw it across the middle. caught and taken all the way to the 35-yard line there. So what a nice pickup there. Cardinals hurrying up here. Can they pull this one off though? Will they be the team to end the Ravens' preseason streak? Let's see. Old man says, I think he should have retired when they won the Super Bowl. I agree, old man. I really do agree with that. But he thought he could. He thought he could run it back. Meanwhile, the Ravens get there for the sack, and there you go. Big time sack there for the Ravens here. 3 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter of this game with the Ravens up 24-17. That's a big time sack right there. Let's see. Braden says, also the first stream I watched of yours when the Commanders and Seahawks played and you were mad at Russell Wilson for not throwing the ball to DK Metcalf. I was upset. I was highly upset. Highly upset. Fantasy points on the line, man. Get the ball to DK. You got such an extreme rep in here. Quarterbacks would kill for, and you won't even throw the ball. And so that's where me and Russell fell out. Like we just fell out. Like just completely fell out after that. Let's see. Braden says another fun stream. Good night, JB. Yeah, good night to you, Braden. Appreciate you for coming through again. Good night to you. As for everyone else here, we have the 2 minute warning here. So the 2 minute mark, which means here in the fourth quarter, with the score being Ravens 24, Cardinals 17. Cardinals are facing third and 25, though. They've got two timeouts because they did burn a timeout earlier. So, but just 2 minutes left to go in this one for the Cards. But yeah, good night to you, Braden. Let's see. Old man says, good night, Braden. Lewis says, JB, who's your two favorite quarterbacks? You said yours is Montana and Marino. And so two favorite quarterbacks of all time. Obviously, I got to go with Brady. Everything he's done for the Patriots there, got to go with Brady. And when it comes to quarterback us outside of Brady, I got to go with Joe Montana also. So those would be my two. And then next tier would be guys like Randall Cunningham, um, the late Steve McNair, guys like that. Here we go, guys. Third and 25. And so Jarrett's on the run here and goes out of bounds. Picked up 15 yards on the ground. But yeah, early on, especially when I first started watching football and stuff like that, I was a huge fan of Steve McNair. A huge fan of Steve McNair and all like that when he was down there in the Titans. I remember he won co-MVP with Peyton Manning back around, I think it was 2003. That was the season. But yeah, I mean, what he did, him and Eddie George down there for the Titans, that was something serious back then. All right, here we go, guys. Fourth and 10. Cardinals take the snap here. Gonna throw it. And it's gonna be incomplete. Incomplete. No penalties. And so it's going to be Ravens with the football here and a great opportunity to try to run out this clock. Of course, they'll have to get a first down here, but great opportunity here for the Ravens to try to run out this clock. Let's see. Old man says, Brady and Vic for me. Now it's Mac Jones and old man Hoyer. Lewis says, Arizona fought at the end. And so they did fight at the end. Made it interesting towards the end here, but ultimately, I mean, I'm not going to say it's over just yet because they do have two timeouts here, but they're going to have to get some stops here. Otherwise, it will be over. But here we go. Brown up under center here. They got a fullback, a back in the backfield here, multiple tight ends. Let's go. What in the world? There is a flag. All right, so it's going to be a false start here against the offense. And so, just a reminder that I will be streaming tomorrow the Falcons versus the Jets. That'll be the final game of the week 2 here in the preseason. And so, we will be streaming that one. So, yeah, we'll be going live. And so, X, you want to come out here? How are you doing? How are you doing? And you say it's over. And so, the Ravens run the ball here. A minute 40 left to go in this one. But yeah, I mean, what a streak the Ravens have. You think about what that means, especially in the preseason when you have different units come in there. That means everybody's coming in with the mindset, buying into the culture here, and they're fighting hard and giving you everything they got out there. And so you got to take pride when you have that kind of a record there, even though the games may not count towards the regular season, but it matters to these guys. A minute and 10 seconds left to go in this one. Second and 14. Brown up under center here. Tight end goes in motion. You got two tight ends, two receivers in the back and the backfield. Going to toss the ball to the back. And he has some room to work with, taking it all the way to within the 30-yard line, all the way to the Cardinals' 29-yard line. So now we got 3rd and 5 coming up here at the Cardinals' 29-yard line. 50 seconds left to go in this one. And so Cardinals seem content to let this one just go ahead and run. And you look at how the game is played so far in this one. I mean, for the Ravens, started off with Tyler Huntley. He was 13 of 14 passing for 129 yards through the air, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Anthony Brown, he looked pretty good out there, 10 of 13 through the air for 91 yards. Now, he threw 2 touchdowns, threw 1 pick, but overall, he looked pretty good out there. Meanwhile, they're going to hand the ball off again, and the back's going to lose a yard in the play, but that is going to take us to the end of the game. So with this one being in the books, it is done. It is over. Congratulations to the Ravens, keeping the streak alive here. And so, of course, they're going to want to finish out next week as well and win that one. But, hey, Ravens put in work here. But it was a good game, especially towards the end. The Cardinals fought back in the 4th quarter, but ultimately was not enough to take down the Ravens here. Again, in the preseason, it's all about guys getting good looks and not having any major injuries. But man, what a good game it was. Lewis says, great stream as always, JB. Till tomorrow, good night. Appreciate you again, Lewis. And yeah, thank you so much. And looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Good night to you and good night to everybody. Gonna go ahead and stream. Tomorrow is Monday morning. But hey, appreciate you guys for coming out. And what a good game it was. Again, the Ravens win this one 24-17 over the Cardinals. Let's see, old man says, another great stream, JB. Get some sleep and we'll definitely be in tomorrow's stream. Yeah, appreciate that, old man. Appreciate that. I hope everybody has a great start to the week tomorrow. And hey, let's get it tomorrow when we see the Falcons versus the Jets.